peace, peace. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Fashion Bunker, and well, we'll go. How's it going, everybody? Hi A, hi Kari, July X, 311, Diva on a Budget, Pumpkin Ziggy, Gloria Recinos, Empanada, India J, Cinnamon Roll, Stephanie M, Brenda, the Nectarine Man, Piss, Kelly Carrick, Valentina Capuano, Mitra K, Troy G, hello sweetheart, oh hi sweetie, how's it going? Caroline Steele, Monarch, Carry On, Janet, JL, Volvo, To Love, we got Deborah C, Amy Pickett, David Allen Green, aka Lori, in the house, Audrey is there, I think I've seen also Debbie.
Hello.
Well, I wasn't sure. Diva on a Budget, MG, you look so nice in the hair, is slang as usual. Thank you, Diva on a Bouget. Hi, Zach. And just like that, Dacob opening my birthday week. Happy birthday week, Zacharias. And Live Ferret. Hi, Siobhan. So, you guys, so much has happened. Okay, last week was hell. By the way, thumb up the live stream if you're at it, and while you're at it. And since last week I didn't stream, we're going to do the after show today. And since last week I didn't stream, this will be the first special after show. So it's of the month, which means it's going to be open to both tiers, tier 1 and tier 2 members, as well as tier 1 and tier 2 patrons. So we'll go. We're going to have ourselves 2 live streams today. This is the first one, and then we're going to have an after show after this, where we're going to get into the nitty gritty of what had happened last week, or yeah, this week. It's been really messy. So, I can tell you one thing already now. Well, now in the main show, one thing that happened: my brand new iPad fell. And but it's still working. But I'm like, of course we're worried, and I swear. No, and it's, you know what? And it's because I got the iPad and I didn't get the cover. I was waiting for my iPad cover. So while I was waiting for the iPad cover, I had to use the old iPad cover, which is from Apple. And of course, my new iPad slid out of it, fell on the floor. This thing is so shitty, and Apple should give me my money back. Seriously. But anyway, at Chanel, it fell on the Chanel stone floor. On the Chanel stone floor, and it survived. Okay, for now. But I'm sure something loosened up inside of it, and God knows. But I do have Apple Care Plus on it. So, you know. But come on, I just got a new iPad. Why? Apple does this on purpose, I believe, to make these stupid ass... They call them smart folios. The only thing smart about them is Apple being smart about making extra money real quick by making shit break. But anyway, the iPad survived the fall, and I think I'm going to have to get another iPad again. I can't anymore. But Mr. POTUS, is this your second iPad that fell? Yeah. Yes. And the first one that fell is now damaged. I showed you, right, the other day. Like when you turn it on, oh, it doesn't even turn on anymore. Really? Oh no, it turns on, but you only get stripes. See? What the hell is going on here? The new one now got its own cover, and the new cover, it has like a PCE surrounding it, and it has a top thing, and it is fabulous, and it is very Gem and the Holograms. It is very me. I got a glitter pink cover, and I'm thinking of also getting a glitter lilac cover as well. But this is cute, okay? This is cute. And I gotta say, the glitter is not just glued on top. The glitter is inside of the material, so it doesn't fall off. You know what I mean? Like there's no glitter on your hands. And the back of it is pink, and it also has a little bit of glitter. Like this thing that looks like dust is actually little glitter particles inside of the plastic. It just doesn't reflect as much with these lights here, but it is also glitter. And it has a slot for the Apple Pencil, which I don't have here. But, and this is the inside of it. Okay, we'll go. So, very glitter, very Gem and the Holograms, very 80s. You know, what can I say? It's really nice. They call this pink red, the red pink, the 80s red pink. Isn't it adorable? Check this out. Ah, aren't we living? We're living. Now, obviously, this thing is not going to last either, but at least all of my corners are protected. You know what? What that price though? It's not how, girl. The corners are protected now, so if my iPad does fall, like all of these edges are protected. So, you know, even if this opens up, like this is, you know, can you just like close for a second? Thank you. So all of this is like protected from the sides, but you can kind of clip it out and it's kind of rubbery, but it is not silicone. I don't like silicone because silicone gets sticky after a while. So this is really cute. She been around the corner. Hi, Mahora. Is she back? Hi, Louie. Hi, Jeanette Freeland. How's it going? So, hi, Grant Ramirez. Luxury in lines. That case looks sturdy. This is a sturdy case. And I've had cases like this before for my other iPads. And at a certain point, you know, the glue here will wear off. I know. So like this part here, it's going to peel off at a certain point. This is a cheap case. It was $8. I'm not expecting, but you know what? It's $8, but it's $30 better than the $40 smart folio. Okay, so definitely $8 well spent in my opinion. And then even if this thing peels off at a certain point, it's still going to have at least its kind of protection on the sides, which is better than nothing. But for $8, let's say it lasts me a year, and then then I can buy a new one. But the pink is Apple Guy approved. Oh, thank you. Well, there you go. Thanks, guys. So it was an $8 or $8.50, something like that. Anyway, Jeanette says I'm getting my first Neverfull. Neverfull? Do you mean Neverfull? Congratulations if you're getting the Neverfull. The Neverfold? I don't know what that is. I think you mean Neverfull. Hi, Louie. Mahora says new iPad. Mahora. Oh my God. She's a working girl now. She doesn't follow the live streams. This one fell and broke, so I had to get a new one. Yes. Grant says, oh, the anxiety while you wait for a new case for your iPhone or iPad. Well, yeah, but this one also fell. And so now my new iPad fell, but it's not broken. It's just a little bit dented now. But Mitrak is a working girl. A girl. Anyway. How's it going, everybody? We got one heck of a show for you today. So like I said, in the after show, we're going to talk about what happened last week. So now is the time to become a member or a patron to join the after show later. But we're going to keep it classy and sassy in the main show. We're going to talk about quite a few things. Tip your host if you like what you see. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. It is morning here, after all. We are in LA at the moment. Adele Ní Luine, hi from Ireland. Well, hello to you too. How's it going? Me and my Irish accent. I do that for Audrey only because she's the only one who appreciates. Jeanette Freeland says, yes, the Neverfull. Congratulations, Jeanette. Congratulations. Mahora says, I'm never full. That never folds. We'll go. Hi, Akolu. Good afternoon from New York City. How's it going? Dacob, have you seen the Neverfull? The Neverfull. Louis, member for 53 months, tier 1. I get running out of shit to put here. Yay! The poetry. The poetry. Let me scroll up. Thank you, Louis. Dacob, have you seen the Neverfull? What do you think of it? it carries everything you need. It is a workhorse of a bag. I just have a little bit of issues with it being a top open bag. So you always have to be careful that nobody sneaks in their hand into your bag. That's the thing to worry about. But it's a lovely bag. It's a classic bag. It's a very practical bag. It gets the job done, I mean, all of these Louis bags, if you look beyond the monogram canvas, depending on which Neverfull you got, maybe you got a leather one or you got one with different canvas, but I just love my Louis with the monogram canvas. So if you look beyond what people say, oh, tacky monogram canvas, this monogram canvas, I honestly, I've been, wearing Louis for so many years now, I don't even see it as a logo anymore. For me, it's just like a classic pattern that belongs to that brand. So it's a little bit funny when some people come to you and say, in the comments underneath my videos, and then they try to throw shade at people who like the Louis Vuitton monogram canvas. And they say, this is so tacky, it's just to show off, blah, 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 logo brand. I'm like, for people who can actually afford it and who have worn it for many, many decades now, it's not in your face logo anymore. It's become like a pattern, like a paisley pattern or like a tartan, like a plaid pattern for some brands. It's a specific pattern that I don't even see as a logo anymore. I just love this brown on brown with the honeyed patina of the vaqueta leather. So to answer your question about the Neverfull, I do like it. I'm just always paranoid about people stealing something from inside of it because it's an open, like a bucket bag, like a tote. And Luxury Line says, no, I meant the Never Ever Full. I think it recently came out and I think it comes with a zipper. I don't know that one. I haven't been in touch with Louis Vuitton lately, so I don't know if that is I don't know that one then. I have to check it out. Human Doodle, I remember seeing you having the large Kirigami pouch. Yeah, do you use it for your iPad? So I have the Kirigami set with it comes in 3. And so I used to use it for my iPad, but I stopped using it for my iPad because this iPad case, again, thank you, Apple, with your smart ass folio. These edges here are a little bit too sharp. And the Kirigami pouch, even though it is canvas on the outside, on the inside, it is completely lined in lambskin leather. Very soft leather. So the Kirigami pouch doesn't have a synthetic lining, So this can really damage it. So I stopped doing that. So I stopped keeping my iPad in the Kirigami pouch because of that reason. And because it's lined in leather. Lambskin, who knew? But that's why I don't put it in there anymore. Oh, Brenda, thank you so much for
Brenda
the
donated
tip.
$15. Happy to see you and
So
catch
this has
the
to be
live.
changed then, huh? Happy to see you and catch the live. Thank you, Brenda. We have a new tipping system today. I have a little metallic pen. And Brenda is going to be the first one. And welcome to Tier 1, Angie Lux Love. It's not an etcha-sketcha. It is a magnadoodle. This is a honeycomb screen that has liquid in it. And each and every little honeycomb has a few little pellets of metal. And when this little thing, magnet, hits them, they elevate from the liquid to the surface, and we create a picture. A picture. So let me show you the honeycombs. An Hermes pen from China, says Mahora, you best believe. So look at all the honeycombs. You see them? And then when I come close with this pen, oh, look at that. Ooh. All of these little pebbles come out. And then with this magnet, when I move across, they disappear like magic. So It's a magna doodle, Stephanie. Yes. Scientist Dacob says nay. We're going to write Brenda's name in really elegant font because Brenda sent the tips. So we're going to do magna doodling. We're going to magna doodle in the style. Actually, it's supposed to be like this because it's like a little shop. But I like this way I get to have more space to write a name. You understand. Brenda, darling. Are you ready, darling? Let's do it. I doodled Brenda. This is an actual D. Okay, this is the way I do a D. But there you go. Brenda, thank you so much, sweetie. And let me do a little heart as well. A little heart here. Ta-da! Isn't it gorgeous? Oh, I'm not supposed to touch this side. Ooh, there you go. There you go, Brenda. Isn't it fabulous? Thank you so much. So that's our little magical magna doodle that we're going to use today. and then when the next tip comes, we cancel this one and then a new name will appear. Isn't that fabulous? My new iPad. Literally. This is my new iPad. The third one. Well, the fourth, actually. Can you believe? Oh, yeah. And then you can put the little pencil like in here, right? And we can like push it out. Angie Lux Love, welcome to Tier 1. We said that already. Oh, Grant Ramirez, darling.
Grant Ramirez donaté de $5.
Gonna do. And now we add Grant Ramirez. Oh, okay. Double name. So we're gonna have to do 2 layers. Grant. Oh, look at that. Look at the fabulosity. Grant Ramirez. Yes. Yes. Little twirls. There you go. Isn't it gorgeous? The new iPad. Simple but functional, okay? Period. So it's stronger than an iPad, says hey. Yeah, if this thing falls, at least it survives. Love the new iPad, says Trina. This is what, we're going back in time. We're going to a simpler time, we're going into the 80s. Speaking of a simpler time, since I skipped a whole week of streaming, and we're going to talk about that in the after show, I also missed the Met Gala, or as some people would call it, the Met Gala. Gala. And, of course, we're worried that we missed an opportunity to get a few views for the review of the Met Gala. But here's the thing. I know that some content creators, reviewed the Met Gala and got over 1 million views for their ratchet reviews. And one doth wonder, why do people keep going to certain channels to watch their content when it's shit? But let's do our review of the Met Gala, shall we? Oh, before we do, some of you are really going to enjoy this. We're going to do the review of the Met Gala. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we got to do this because this is a serious fashion channel. We are serious. Are you serious? We are serious. Eyes? From what person's eyes do you want me to get, ma'am? Eyes? Are you serious? Eyes. I don't have eyes. Do you know what I'm... Okay, does anybody remember this? Okay, whatever. Girl, bah. AI delights. Okay, I got him. So... Okay, so are you ready for the... Oh, hi, Jackie. Okay. Hi, Polly. Yes. Okay. Jackie's like, oh, you mean the Louis Vuitton sponsored Met Gala? No. As a straight man, I find it very gay, the Met. But as an artist, the Met has so many talented designers, says Ride. That's such a weird comment. But okay. So here's the thing. And we're a serious fashion channel. We are going to review the Met Gala, okay? And you've probably already seen all the outfits. So, because it's been a week since the gala. Uh, but yeah, let's do this together. Are you ready for the review? I have here for you a little compilation of the best looks, and it's just gonna go in loop. It's a little tiny video, and we're gonna review it together. And I gotta say, maybe at the end of the day, this was one of the better Met Galas that we have seen thus far. Oh, wait, Nectarine Man says, I was so proud for Zoe Saldana. YSL were doing her dirty for a while now. Oh, Nectarine Man, I love your earnestness and how always honest you are. Here's the thing. This is the fashion bunker after all. Okay? So you know if I'm going to deliver something, it's going to be with a twist. Let's check out the Met Gala 2025, courtesy of AI Delights on Instagram. Go check their channel out, profile out, and subscribe to, and follow them. So let's see what we got here. A credit to AI Delights. Fozzie was fabulous. Ah, look at that! Look at that little what am I gonna watermelon outfit. Oh my god, look at this. Look at this. Kim Kardashian, who, baby? Even the eyes move. Oh, it's the wig for me. It's the white hair. The Count always steals the show. And then we got some purple Muppet, these shoes with and this Katie Furry. And Elmo is back. I always knew that Elmo was gay, and now we have the proof. We have the proof. And Fozzie Bear, like I said again, look at that little muffin top. And then we got that watermelon pair of shorts. Is that a belly button? Cha. It's the dollar signs for me. I mean, it's almost Miss Piggy, but it's not Miss Piggy. And then again, it's the hat. Love it. This and the pearls nailed the theme of this season. Although I want to say the Count maybe really takes the cake because the Count finally let that hair loose. You know what I mean? The eyes and the blow up doll. I mean, Jeremy Scott has returned to the red carpet, wouldn't you say? And I'm telling you, this is the red carpet that I want to see. This at least is fun. You know, the Jim Henson team should take over the Met Gala and I love that the AI created real people in the back, like not Muppets photographing the people. And even she, like the lady here, and why can't we make this anyway. All of the assistants and the helpers and the photographers, they're all human, but the stars of the show are the Muppets. Isn't it fabulous? So anyway. Oh, and the cheese the cheese bag. You gotta be kidding me. Elmo has a cheese clutch. Yeah, Elmo has a cheese clutch. Like a little cheese sandwich, you know? Why not? They're all serving the poses, the movement, honey. Look at this. It's a Muppet wearing a reptile skin. Faux reptile PETA. Don't come for us. Also faux crocodile. And this, of course, AI doesn't know how to spell, so they wrote something like fum, but we don't know what they actually wrote because they're not good at spelling. Man, and it's the skins of the Muppets at the end of the day. I mean, it's the colors. I'm living. And this could have been Vivienne Westwood, you know? This could have been a Vivienne Westwood piece for Elmo. Gorgeous. We love the Muppets. So there you go. We'll go. So the Met Gala really, really was fun this year. But on a serious note, what's the serious note? Diana Ross stole the show, like for real. And Madonna was also finally looking good, not like some 2-cent hoe. And yeah, I liked them a lot. and other people who we're not going to talk about here. So anyway, Nectarine Man says, LOL Muppets. Actually, they're all serving, right? Yeah. And there you go. Those yellow shoes with the pink dress are fabulous. Fabulous. A says the pregnant Muppet, Rihanna. And she was it. Madonna, little in there. So Madonna, I don't think she cried, but she was like looking always up because she really wanted to get the best light possible. So she's kind of walking on the red carpet looking like, where's my light? Where's the light from the top? I don't want too many shadows falling over my face to show wrinkles. So she kept doing this and then like looking, where's the light? And then she moved to the light and then lifted her head. So she was worried, like she was visibly worried, like she wanted to look good on that carpet. So there you go. But Diana Ross takes the cake. Diana Ross is just a living legend, and like she took the cake literally. I mean, she like the entire dress, you know, she like occupied the entire space, and it was just so amazing. I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So there you go. Very simple review, a very simple moment. What can I tell you? It is what it is. Kev sent me a photo, which I can't share because I think it's copyright, like Getty Images or something. But you guys, if you go and Google Anna Wintour, Anna herself, Anna Wintour herself at the Met Gala 2025, there's a photo of her entire body on the red carpet. Yeah, cinnamon roll, the stain. She had a huge stain on her dress. And it was not like, oh, I just got and I did an oopsie. No, it was a crusty stain. So I wonder who got fired the next day when she got wind that her dress was stained, because obviously she didn't know while she was on the carpet. She got to know later, right? And could you imagine, like Anna Wintour, who's always like perfect, perfect, perfect. Now she has a stain on her white dress, which is even, you know, it's even worse because it's such a visible, it's a white dress. And then you got that like orangey stain on it. And I'm just like, oh man, Anna, ooh, 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 crusty orange stain. So someone ate McNuggets, right, Natadida? Mama got IBS, says Mahora. I don't know what to tell you. Speaking of Mama, happy Mother's Day, belated, granted, but I know we're a day late. We were supposed to stream yesterday, but we're streaming today. So happy, well, we were supposed to stream 2 days ago, actually. So whatever. Happy Mother's Day, okay? If we travel back in time a day, it's still Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. And also, I want to say happy belated birthday to Kate Moore. Hit it, Bubbles. Happy birthday, Kate. Bubbles takes a minute. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, I'm living Fairwood. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! Happy birthday to Kate Moore. I know we're a little bit late, but Kate, happy belated birthday. Also, Kate also always does the chapters for every live stream. So you guys get to watch the live stream later on if you're on replay, and all those chapters are done. It's thanks to Kate. So happy belated birthday, Kate. So there is that. Well, we'll go. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Now, who were we? Lana Marie, happy birthday! Whoop, 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 bow, 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 bow. Met Gala, done. All right, let me... Oh no, I forgot to do my little... Cha, you stop streaming for a week and you forget to do everything. Well, that's okay. Oh, so here's a topic that Louis sent me. That was an interesting one. Did I take screenshots of it though? No. I thought I did. No, let me double check. I didn't take screenshots. So I'll find it. Wait, hold on a second, you guys. You guys. Let me just wait, Louis, you sent me like some link like a gazillion years ago. Which oh yeah, no, of course. Yeah, Diane von Furstenberg's 83-year-old husband comes out as gay. But that's not the news. I mean, we already knew. You know what I mean? That's not the news. Ah, here. Oh, Troy G sent 5 Super Dacob gift memberships. Thank you so much, Troy. Hold on. Jeanette Freeland was just gifted. Hold on. Oh my God, you guys. Everything is falling apart. Okay. Jeanette was gifted a membership by Troy G. Amalie was gifted a membership by Troy G. Jennifer was gifted a membership by Troy G. Honey was gifted a membership by Troy G. Maka was gifted a membership by Troy G. Welcome to all the new Tier 1 members. And start using your emojis. And also don't forget that today, also Tier 1 members and Tier 1 patrons get access to the after show. So stay tuned for double the fun. In the bunker, Kelly Carrick is like, I knew Diane von Furstenberg's hubby was a sister. A sister. Can you believe? A sister. Period. Okay? Now, where do I put this thing? We have like a lot going on here prop-wise today. So I'm like trying to coordinate where what goes without it falling all over the place. No, but so Louis sent me this thing and I was like, oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, Zara Justina, member for 28 months, Tier 2 High Dacob and Fashion Bunker. And I wanted to share and celebrate with you all. I love it here. Oh, Zara Justina, thank you so much for the membership super chat. And so glad you're with us. Very kind. Thank you. Y'all, Louis sent me this thing from WFAA. And it says Neiman Marcus parent company Saks Global. Oh, it's your birthday weekend, Zara. Happy birthday weekend. Pow, 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 pow. Pow, pow, pow. Oh. Pow, 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 pow. Happy birthday, Zara. You got the pink hippopotamus birthday. Happy birthday weekend. So yeah. So the rose toy living ferret, you best believe. All right. So Neiman Marcus parent company Saks Global seeks repayment from DFW restaurant staff over tip error, sources say. Yeah, guys, the poverty. Like, we are at a point now, Saks Global is telling from one of their restaurants, the staff, like, you didn't type in, like, you didn't, like, cash in the tip into our systems, so pay it out of your own pocket. Like, yeah, guys, Akolu says, what kind of tip was this? Well, let's read together. So Saks Global didn't confirm where the employees work, but the downtown Dallas Neiman Marcus store houses the long popular Zodiac Room restaurant. Of course, something like this could either happen in Florida or in Texas. Where else? So anyway, so they're confirming that some of its North Texas restaurant employees were overpaid in tips because of an error in the tipping system they used earlier this year. And the company's trying to recoup the money. Sources say, no, you guys, the poverty. We have come to the point where, I mean, you can't make this shit up. It's like, could you imagine? Like, oh, sorry. This happened to me once in a restaurant. It wasn't a tip. Y'all, I was with a friend. We were at a sushi restaurant. This is years ago. This is before the pandemic even. And we were regulars in that restaurant. Like, we would always go with friends. Like, they knew us by name. Like, we would always have the same table. Like, we loved that place, okay? Prices were good too. And after years of going there and bringing money to them, and after years of also telling everybody about the place and bringing in new customers, after years of all of that, one time, we were a big group of people, they forgot to put in the bill, and my friend was paying that time. They forgot to put in the bill one set of 8 sashimis, which was like $15. Everything else was in the bill, like it was over $100. And then the $15 of that sashimi thing was not on the bill. We didn't notice because we trust them. You know, they bring in the bill, you just sign what you gotta sign, and you pay. You don't, you know what I mean? Like, we've been going there for years. Like, you don't check every single meal on the bill. Like, the bill arrives, you pay, you sign, thank you, tip, and you go. So we didn't see that there was like one sashimi set less. You know, we didn't do anything bad. It was their mistake, by the way, not ours. But we don't look at the bill, we pay and we go. 1 week later, I go back with other friends. And the restaurant manager, she comes to me and she's like, hey, Dacob, listen, I just wanted to let you know that I was checking the bills of last week, and there was this one sashimi set less. So the $15, like we're going to need the $15. And I'm sitting there with, like, it was also a business lunch that I was supposed to have with all of these professional people who are like colleagues and managers, and we're like sitting there, and she's asking me for $15 from last week. 50, and I looked at her and I said, first of all, I was like, I don't know if anything was missing. I don't know. I didn't pay the bill. My friend paid the bill last week. So you're going to have to talk to her. That's not my problem. She's like, can you please tell her to pass by? And I'm like, okay, I'll let her know. Needless to say, I never went back to that restaurant. I found that really disgusting. Really disgusting. Now you can imagine if they're treating their customers that way, how are they treating their employees? If they're treating their customer like, because mind you, I was somebody who was going there for years and I never got anything for free from them. You know, it's not like they ever gave me something to say, you know what, you're such a good customer. Here's a sake for ya or something. You know what I mean? Like, one time they forgot to type in a sashimi set and all hell breaks loose. I'm like, girl, no, we're not doing this. You're going to be, I mean, I don't like to do business with people like that. So we never went back. I'm like, no, not only did you lose the $15, you lost thousands of dollars because we're never coming back. Okay. So this is the vibe when I read this article about the Dallas Neiman Marcus Saks Global restaurant and how they're like now telling their employees, we're going to take this extra tip that you were tipped like out of your salary. Girl, times are tough. Like, I get it, but like, you do not You do not mess with tips. No. Exactly, Nectarine Man. You could imagine how they treat staff. Like, hey, I noticed you clocked out 3 minutes early on Tuesday. You need to work those back. Yeah. And so, and I don't want to know like what they did to recoup those $15. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what did they do then to recoup those $15? Like, did they take that out of somebody's tip in order to pay it back? You know what I mean? I'm looking at my thing. Do I have a white hair poking out there? What is this thing? Right there. Ah, so annoying. It's a white hair. Hold on. I'm going to pluck that sucker. Right there. It is so debilitating. Hold on. Ah, there it is. The bitch has been plucked. Ah, I feel better now. Okay. So anyway, where were we? One white hair less. Utterly lacking in grace equals Saks manager, right, Deborah? No, I'm telling you. So I don't know what they did. So basically, so they say that Saks Global didn't confirm where the employees work or how much they were overpaid. But the more than century-old downtown Dallas Neiman Marcus store, which was previously said to be closed earlier this year, also houses, okay, blah, blah, blah. Employees were overpaid, Saks Global says, because of an error with a third-party tipping system used in our restaurants that led to their tips being erroneously doubled for a short period of time. Saks Global says employees were notified of the issue and provided options for repayment. Sources tell WFAA the error impacted about 20 employees.
I'm asking for $100K or more.
Or more. And land. We have worked closely with our vendor to correct the error and have taken steps to help avoid the issue in the future, Saks Global said in a statement. Land of the free, as they say. Land of the free. Cheerio, old chap. Cheerio. So, can you believe those poor workers? Let's make one thing very clear. I know some people are very clear about like, hey, you're working, you know, you're paid what you're owed, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's always somebody very conservative out there who's going to say like, somebody has to be the worker, somebody has to be the client of the restaurant, and somebody has to be the worker, and the worker has to work and has to. I'm like, hold your horses just a second here. Nobody wakes up early in the morning one day and says, you know what? It's my dream. It's my dream to one day become a waiter weighing tables in a restaurant. What I'm trying to say here is like, you start weighing tables when you need money, and you need money fast. You don't wait tables because it's an honor. You don't wait tables because it's a dream job. So, and also, you have to keep weighing tables if that's all you can do. You have to keep weighing tables because the job doesn't bring enough money for you to be able to quickly stop weighing tables with all the extra money you've earned from weighing tables that you managed to put aside from working as a waiter to then build yourself a house and be independent. We know those jobs don't pay well. So what I'm trying to say here is like, yes, it's an honest job. It's an honest job, but it's not fairly paid. And the people who have to wait tables, like, they are working their butts off, you know? And then imagine, like, for one time, the tipping system slides through a double tip, and then your boss comes to you and says, sorry, honey, you're going to have to give that money back, okay? Louis says, good old Texas, babes. Deborah says, poor Saks. It sucks, Saks. Good joke. Nectarine Man says, multimillionaire management recouping tips for their lowest earning from their lowest earning workers is such a bad look. Damn, it is vile. Oh, I can't with this board. Okay. Anyway, I'll just leave it there. Hi, Holly Grace. How's it going, sweetie? Hi, Anya. I loved being a hostess, but I'm probably weird. I love customer service. Well, hostess is different than weighing tables. Hostess has a different set of kind of tasks to do as a hostess, you know? Customer service can be really nice. It can be interesting, but weighing tables it's tough. It's difficult. It's difficult. Like, you know, Kelly says the business is one who made the mistake. The servers shouldn't have to pay that back. I agree with you, Kelly. Just like with prices, in some countries, when an item has a price tag on it, the shop has to honor that price, even though they made a mistake and maybe the price is double of what they want it to be, and they have to honor it. But so why not also have that same regulation set in place for when their system messes up and you tip double your workers? It's not the workers' fault. Anyway, Cassandra Perry, how's it going, sweetie? No one wakes up and dreams of being underpaid and underappreciated. Amen. Period. That's the point. Exactly. Exactly. Cecilia Brown. Exactly. I used to be a waiter when I was young. I've been so traumatized that I didn't step a foot in any restaurant for years. Even now, I don't go there very often. Been treated like a poop. I feel ya. I totally feel ya. And this is the reality for most people, that have to wait tables. Like, you have to be somebody's psychiatrist, somebody's shrink, because at some table, somebody is chatty and wants to talk to you. But then at the same time, just at another table that you're also weighing, they don't want to talk. They don't want you to look at them. They're giving you an attitude. At the third table that you're weighing simultaneously, you got a Karen who's everything is bad. Nothing is good. There's a stain on the fork. There's this, there's that. And there's no stain on the fork. So you have to switch your behavioral pattern from table to table. Like you have to adapt to the energy of your client from table to table. It exhausts you. It sucks out whatever living ounce of energy you have left in you. By the end of the shift, you're just like, you know what? I'm done. So it is a job that is not only underpaid and underappreciated, but it is also underqualified in terms of the qualification that goes with weighing tables should be much more appreciated and paid. Because, like I said, you bring an entire set of skills to the table when you're weighing a table, literally. So you're not just like balancing the plates and writing down orders, but you also have to psychologically deal with the customer in a very specific way. And that requires a whole temperamental set of skills, psychological set of skills, emotional intelligence set of skills. It should be paid accordingly. Just saying. So yeah, Brooke Gardner says, hi, Brooke. Was a hostess for years in college, refused to become a server. No, thank you. There you go. Deborah says, GTG. Oh, gots to go. It's 4 a.m. here, but it will be a full moon in LA and everywhere else when evening comes. Oh, a full moon today? All right, sweetie. Good night. Good night in Australia, down under. We actually have a down under topic coming up in this show. Yes, the penal colonists have done it again. Fun. Akolu says, I have local NYC dinners or diners or wait, let me scroll up. Sorry, just where the wait staff is like family and I treat them well, they treat me well. Nectarine Man says, you're so right. I never thought about that. Yeah. The set of skills you need. Yeah. Anya says, working at restaurants is definitely the worst of customer service. I've never seen people be so rude. And I didn't realize how many people look down on others. A lot. Leanne says, hi, Leanne. Sorry, let me scroll up just quickly. Customers get jealous when you talk too much to another customer. It's funny. Interesting. Yeah, they become very possessive, isn't that? Yeah, that's a good one. Hi, Terry. Good morning, sweetie. Akolu says any business is essentially client service and it does take a lot out of you. Agree, Dacob. Yes. Working in shops as well. Being a sales associate in a boutique. Oh my God. Been there, done that. Ugh. Torture. Torture. I'm Maria. Full moon, baby. Here I go with Jen. How's it going? I was a server during college. Sometimes if the day was really bad, even if I made great tips, it's not worth it. It gets disheartening. Yeah. It dehumanizes you. Like you come home and you're an empty shell because everybody sucks energy out of you. And this is, I'm not saying like, oh, vampires exist. Like, let's not get all like weird and esoteric, although, but there is such a form of being an energy vampire, and it's really a thing. It's really a thing. Like some people don't even know that they're energy vampires. They just suck the energy out of you while you're talking to them, you know, or just by like sometimes. Did you ever feel this if you're in the subway or in a bus or in a plane? And there's a lot of people in there, and you enter and you have energy, and you sit down on your seat, and then you travel from A to B, and when you arrive, as you're stepping off of the tram, train, bus, plane, you're exhausted. Somebody sucked the energy out of you. There's always some energy vampire somewhere. And this happens with a lot of clients. And it's not that a lot of people are consciously energy vampires. Some people don't even notice it, but they just suck your energy out of you. And they don't know what they're doing, so they don't stop themselves. Because some people are aware of it and they can also control it and be like, well, hold on a minute. I am not going to suck this person's energy now. But some customers don't have that. And they just like attach themselves to you and they suck out all your energy and then they leave. And they're happy and chirpy and they're gone. And they're like, ah. And you're left like a sponge that has been like drained of all of its waters. So anyway. Oh, Terry just tipped, but they aren't showing up in chat list. Oh, the chat list is not working. I don't know. Something in the background is updating. Holly Grace says to be aware takes self-awareness, and most people have not gone through the hard work in life to develop that. That's a good point. Terry, my love, there it is.
Thérèse Anqueguir donatait de $30.
We got a new tipping system. It's our, how do we call it? The Magna Doodle. So every time a new tip comes in, we cancel the last name and we add a new one. Wait. Terry! Whee! Is this fun? Ah, fabulous. That's our new little tipping system. Ah, and from Kenny. Oh, let's do Kenny next.
Thérèse Anqueguir donatait de $5. From Kenny.
From Kenny? And Kenny. So cute. I love this thing. It's so much fun. So thank you so much, Terry and Kenny. So that happened. So can you imagine Neiman Marcus, Saks Global asking money from their work girl? And you call that luxury? I don't think so. Yeah, Akolu, your energy drained. They are happy. Life of a water sign. Ah, there you go. The classic, Akolu. Classic. Nay says, I would literally go home and stare at a wall for like 2 hours. Oh my God, Nay, me too. I would come home and then I would not have a social life anymore. Like I would not talk to family, friends. I would just be like laying in bed like completely batteries empty. So I have to like recharge my batteries. Yeah. Holy Grace says, but it is also our personal responsibility to maintain our good energy despite our environment. Not easy, but it's worth it in service of our own life. Yeah, it's just difficult. It's like, how long has this water been open? Oh, Charlie! Spunky! Charlie. Here's the thing. Where's Gloria Recinos? Empanada. There she is. Camiller. Gloria is always there when we talk about Camiller. But yeah. Simmerl says, and she worked from 8 to 10 all week. Oh, one of them had to do that. She worked at a new restaurant for a week, and at the end, they didn't want to pay her a dime. Cha. Empanada. You guys remember, for those of you who are just tuning in, I don't know, like a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about like when Spanish-speaking Americans or English or American or English speakers that also speak Spanish, they would have this perfect American accent, like talk, speak English with the American accent, blah, 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 blah. And then when they have to drop one word in Spanish, the whole pronunciation would change just for that one word, and then they would be right back into the American accent. It is hilarious. And I don't know who started that. Oh, Gloria. Yeah, Gloria is guilty. Guilty is started. Empanada. It's now a part of our vocab. Totally, Holly. So what was the other day? Like, and it's so funny. It's so funny because like you're talking to a person and you're just conversing, at a grocery store, supermarket, and you're like, talking everything in English, and they're talking to you and they're saying, yeah, so I went to this place and then, oh my God, and then I tried this like really, really great place where they have like this fruit from Colombia. And then the food was really amazing, and I loved it. And then I had the empanada, and I ordered 2 or 3 of those, and I tipped really well. And the hostess was awesome, Sylvia, and I'm definitely gonna go see her again. And then all I remember is Colombia, empanada, Sylvia, Barcelona. I mean, oh man, I don't know what it is. Oh, July, thank you so much.
Julix 311 donated $5. Loads of love from Germany.
Oh, thank you so much, Julie X, or July X. Wait, that X didn't turn out well. Hold on. There you go. Oh my gosh. You know what I'm going to do? 4 hearts. Look at that. Julie X. There you go. Oh, yeah, Gloria. Yes. Yeah. Can I get 3 tacos of carne asada? Can I get 3? Can I please, can I get 3 tacos of carne asada? And can you do a little bit extra asada? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, Alphabet Song. Thank you.
Alphabet so donated $5. Donating so you can keep breaking iPads and stealing sushi. Stay classy, my angel. Étincelle.
Thank you so much. We are going to keep breaking those iPads, baby. Look, it's me and Mr. Beast. He got famous for throwing money to the wind. I'm going to get famous by just breaking iPads every day. And today, what iPad are we going to break today? Alphabet Song. Ooh, this is a long one. Okay, let me see how we're going to do it. Alphabet Song. There you go. 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 So, yeah. I mean, oh, I can. It's a little drawing. Oh, this thing is so nice. I lose myself. I'm going to draw you a high heel. It's fashion after all, the fashion bunker. So let's do a fashion thing here. Little classic heel. What do you think about this one? Yeah, what do we like? Hi, Ollie. How's it going? Fashion, yes. Oh no, Holy Grace, we already did the Met Gala. We did it. We did that already. Yeah. But if you when you scroll back to the beginning of the show, you're gonna see that we did the Met Gala in our own special way. It's not what you expect. I mean, it's typical for the fashion bunker, really, because you'll see when you rewatch it. Yeah, those toes, babes. Yes. Okay, so we did that topic. What will go, will go. Oh, okay. So we did Kate Moore's birthday. Ah, okay, let's talk about the penal colonies. Ooh, this is juicy. Oh, Holly's gonna love this topic. Yes, Australia has done it again. Australia has done it again. They have done us dirty. They have done us dirty. Oh, yeah, Nectarine Man, me too. I draw high heels all the time as a kid. You know, Andy Warhol used to draw shoes a lot, but it's just, oh, here's a chubbier one. So cute. And also, I love drawing them from the back. Wait, hold on. Yeah, from the back, you know, like that. Good day, mate. Yep. She's walking down the street. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. And one of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you, baby. Baby. All right. Australian. Yes, Australia is in the house. Let me just get to the article. This is a doozy. Who knew? Who knew? Okay. And, all right, let's film it. Australia does it again. Yes, my accent is potentially terrible, but nevertheless, so is the attitude of this Australian brand, allegedly. What they have done has infuriated their customers. This Australian brand has also celebrated influencers to the point where now even the influencers seem to be getting in trouble for working with that brand. Why? Because the customers of the brand are not receiving their goods, not receiving refunds, in some cases, not even receiving answers to their requests, such as, where's my stuff that I paid for? Let's get to it. All through the dailymail.com, and everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. Ya guys. Australia has done it again. Not only have we had issues with, you know, shops selling bags and people realizing that they might not be authentic, allegedly, and then wanting their money back. You know, I mean, look, I'm not, you know, I could get shadier and shadier and shadier, but let's try to keep this classy and sassy. Difficult, I know, but let's try. Okay, so here we go. Aussie fashion label sparks outrage for tone-deaf move less than 2 weeks after issuing a groveling apology to customers for overdue orders. You guys, the brand in question is Pepper Mayo or Pepper Mayo, or Mayo, like mayonnaise, I guess. So Pepper Mayo. I'm just going to call him Pepper Mayo because I don't know if it's Pepper Mayo. So, you know, they sell fashion online and they do worldwide shipping apparently. So people have been ordering their stuff but not receiving the goods. Or they've been ordering their stuff and maybe they want to return it, but then they can't get a return label issued because customer service isn't replying to them. But while all this was happening, and Pepper Mayo was, yes, a Pepper Mayo sounds delish, says A. While all of this was happening, Pepper Mayo was like, you know what, guys? let's send some influencers to Coachella. So this happened a couple of weeks ago when the Coachella festival was going on. Okay, so I think this was the Texas version, but okay, whatever. So this is Sofa Dofa, TikTok Sofa Dofa. You guys, there's a whole situation here. Sofa Dofa, I think, went to Texas, but first what they did was they sent influencers to Coachella. Customers caught wind of that because those influencers were posting on their social media saying, hey, look at us. Thank you, Paper Mayo, whatever you call Pepper Mayo. Yay. Customers started saying, hold on a minute. You have the money to send these influencers across the world to Coachella, but you don't have the money to organize and send our clothes to us that we paid for. So what are you doing with the money we sent you? With the money we sent you, you're paying these influencers to go to Coachella. So Paper Mayo or Pepper Mayo apologized. They did an online official apology. And the waters seemed to have gotten a little bit more calm and peaceful until it's the duck face for me. Thank you, Pepper Mayo. So anyway, influencer starter packs is holy grace. Yes, except Peppa Mayo pulled another one on their customers because they were still not apparently shipping a lot of their stuff. But they didn't ship the stuff, but they shipped more influencers, this time to Texas, to some other event. Louis says they sent them ratchet downtown Dallas. Lovely. They sent these chiclets to Texas. Now, hear me out. What they're stating in this article, so one of these elegant and affluent ladies were caught on social media saying, oh my God, I just came back from this trip and I just found out now that Pepper Mayo is sending me to Texas in just 3 days. How will I ever find the time to get ready? I just found out today. So 3 days after that, they are first class, shipped over the elegance and the sophistication of this selfie. Now, so there she goes, first class. How very elegant. She's shipped off to Texas, and of course now the customers are double angry because they're like, hold on a minute. You couldn't ship our paid clothes to us, but you send people to Coachella. Then you apologized. And now a couple of weeks later, you're still not shipping our orders that we paid for, but you're shipping these chicks over to Texas in first class? Akari says, peasants. Peasants. Okay. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Because Pepper Mayo issued a statement. Now, remember what I told you about one of these influencers saying, oh my God, I just found out today that 3 days from now, I'm going to Texas. I got to get ready. Right. Well, Pepper Mayo said something in a statement about the fact that they were they apologized for all of this, but they said, look, these trips for these influencers were planned out months and months in advance. So it's not like this came out of the blue. Like, we already budgeted for these trips. We already planned these trips out in detail months and months and months ago. And I'm like, How is that possible that you've been planning this out and organizing it months and months and months in advance if these influencers just said on their own social media accounts that they just found out that they're traveling to Texas 3 days before they were put on first class flights to Texas? So who's lying here? Who's lying here? The influencers who just found out 3 days before they flew to Texas that are going to be flown in by you, all expenses paid to Texas? Or were you lying when you said that you organized these flights months and months and months in advance? Huh? Pepper mayo. The pepper ain't pepperin', and the mayonnaise is stale because I smell a rat. Honestly, something is aloof here. So, and also, look, Pepper Mayo founders Georgia Wright and Huai Huang also issued a public apology to their customers in a post shared to Instagram in April. And they said, we understand that seeing our recent Coachella event may have been upsetting during this period. Please know these campaigns were planned months in advance, they said. We want to sincerely apologize for the recent delays experienced by our amazing customers. The Coachella experience, courtesy of Paper Mayo. You know what? I'm just going to let silence speak for itself. We would like to apologize for our lack of transparency during this time. The brand's statement cited unspecified external macroeconomic factors which caused major technological and integration challenges. Girl, when you start using fancy schmancy words to cover up for your mishaps, please, nobody's buying that crap. Ya done gone did us dirty. We paid for the product. We paid for the shipping. It's that simple. And you said you had it in stock, but now you're telling us that macroeconomic factors, okay, which caused major technological and integration challenges. Girl, please. No, I'm sorry. They said the backlog is due to be cleared and the supply chain issues have been stabilized. The statement also acknowledged the lack of customer service staff to address complaints, but said more employees have since been brought on. The founders said, as a small way of making it right, they were making the gesture of offering free express shipping for a month from May 5th to the US, UK, Australia, and Canada. Daily Mail Australia has contacted Pepper Mayo for comment. The Adelaide-born brand describes itself, but no response yet. The brand describes itself on its website as a Sydney-based fashion biz with a diverse, trendy female customer base. They have 1.2 million followers on Instagram, you guys. Louis says, the girl in the back takes me out with her leg out. Oh, that yes! This is the queen. This is I love her. She's amazing. Look, she's living her life. She's giving me that moment when you are sleeping in bed and it's kind of chilly, but a little bit too hot. So you just put your leg out from underneath the blanket, but the rest you're still covered. That's the vibe. She's giving me cozy vibes. Let me just put my leg out so it's a little bit cool, but it's too chilly to take the whole blanket off. But there you go. No, this is just... And what are you doing? You're flying from Australia to Texas to do what? Work as an influencer in Texas, and you only found out 3 days before you left Australia that you're going to be working in Texas? Border control is going to have a doozy with these little ladies. I know I would. So anyway, cheerio, old chap. Ta-ta. See you all soon. Subscribe. Let's get to 100K. And until next time. Oh, yes, then there's this photo. One sees this photo and one doth wonder, what were they really doing strutting the streets of Texas? Never give up on love. We're done. Yeah. No. Mm-mm. 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 Holy graces, again, these ladies need a boot camp. Look, they got millions of followers. They're going to probably come for me. But you know what? I'm so sick and tired of all this bullshit. Like, call a spade a spade. You know, we keep it mighty real in the fashion bunker. I'm sorry. I don't buy this bullshit. You know, just saying. Fast fashion influencers are so annoying, says A. Yes, they really are. Do you remember that other one that was like saying, oh, the Shein factories are amazing, are amazing. People are treated fabulously. I'm like, how dumb can you be? But hi, Chunky Shoes UK. Terry's like, those outfits. Wait, I can give you lips, darling, those lips. Oh, honey, those lips have been places. What? Oh my God, like the parody of that with some girl going to a late 1800s factory was too good though. What wait, what was the I don't know, I missed that point. Them lips can bite. Yes. The one thing Oh, Leah, thank you so much.
Léa Donate de $5. C'è bel sottofondo, carissimo Dacob. Fa molto piacere sentire c'è live vinta contro ci dava fastidio cercando di farti fuori su YouTube. Un bacione grande, Léa.
Oh, grazie mille Lea. Guarda, ti ho aggiunto sulla nostra pagellina, sulla tabellina. Grazie Lea. The little heart. What did Audrey say? Looks like special Audrey. Okay, I'm going to do lips with... You guys, your minds are in the gutter and we wouldn't want it any other way because we are in the fashion bunker after all. There, clean lips. Get your minds out of the gutter. Clean lips, clean lips. Clean lips, loose hips. Little rhyme. Holly says, the one thing influencers have done that is positive on society is erase celebrity relevance. But now we need to erase their career relevance. Oh my God, the celebrity relevance is also... Have you noticed, and I was reading this article the other day, I don't remember where, but they were saying like, oh my God, it's the same 5 actors and actresses that get hired for every movie nowadays. It's so annoying. It's like, can we hire some other young, talented, or they don't have to be young, talented actors and actresses that are, you know, why does it always have to be the same ones? I'm sick and tired of seeing Chalamet not in every freaking movie. I'm like, please. I don't need to see a walking stick that has 3 hairs for a beard in every single movie. Okay? I don't need to see that anymore. We get it. He has done a couple of movies. We get it. He's a talented actor. We get it. But like, please get him out of the way. He has earned enough money to live 10 lifetimes in happiness. Give somebody else a chance now. Come on, people. Like, I can't see him anymore. Ugh. Seriously. So anyway, yeah, you know what I mean, Brenda. Like, he looks like he he didn't even mutate his voice yet. He's like one of those, like, he seems like he's just about to enter puberty. Ugh, man. Anyway, so there's that. We got more topics for you today. Can you believe? Yes, you can, because we do. And so we filmed this one, okay? And oh my God. So this is so sad. LVMH's CEO in America has a Indian name similar to like Leena Nair, one of those names. So she's very happy. She's like, and this is like so sad because it just tells me what she thinks her customer base in America wants from Louis Vuitton. She said in an article that I just read, she said, finally, quiet luxury is over. So now finally we can start selling again. I'm like, girl, you're so tacky. She's like, no. Quiet luxury is over. So finally we can go back to experimenting. Louis Vuitton can go back to flourishing, making, experimental fashion. I'm like, experimental fashion where? What are you talking? How about, because she said, it's nothing groundbreaking. Quiet luxury was nothing groundbreaking. And, it lasted the time it lasted, but it's nothing modern. It's nothing revolutionary. It's been done decades and decades ago. I'm like, you want to hear something revolutionary? You want to hear something groundbreaking? You want to hear something innovative? How about you start making products that actually have good lasting quality for a change? How about that for an idea? How about you start making collections that actually last? Bags that don't fall apart. Stitches that are not loose. Canvas that is not bubbly. Leather that doesn't peel. How about that for you? How about we do that first? How about we rein it in a little and we get our quality control under control? And then you can sit there, do your little interviews and talk about how you want to be all experimental with your fashion. With a passion. Okay, we talk about it. We'll go. But how about we do the quality control first? Speaking of quality control, I got a video for you. We're going to talk about Chanel. Léa! Cosa pensi della bellissima Charlotte Casiraghi?
Léa Donatet de $5. Caro Dacob, cosa pensi della bellissima Charlotte Casiraghi, portavoce per Chanel, quella del salotto letterario? Io la trovo molto elegante. Bassioni.
First of all, Léa, you're on the lift now. So cute. Thank you so much. So Léa is asking me in Italian, what do I think about Charlotte Casiraghi for Chanel as an ambassador of Chanel? She is from the royal family, after all, of Monaco. That's why Chanel took her. And she studied or is still studying or has studied philosophy, I believe, or was she studying psychology or philosophy? I think philosophy. And she was part of the literary circle of book readers and authors and writers that were, I don't want to say subsidized, but Chanel used to do this kind of promotional thing where literary women would meet and do a little round table for every fashion show that they would do, and then they would talk about books while customers are buying clothes. So anyway, what do I think about Charlotte Casiraghi? Yeah, I know. Okay, Léa thinks that Charlotte Casiraghi is very elegant and sophisticated. Mm. You know, I can't help but see her as let's fly her in on a private jet to Paris to do the little round table read, while the woman that she invited to read a book that she wrote is maybe a book about struggling as a woman in society to make ends meet, to living in poverty, you know what I mean? While like all of these rich ladies that are dressed in Chanel from head to toe are sipping their champagnes and coffees saying, "Oh, I feel that pain in that book. I feel the suffering. I oh, it's amazing, amazing, amazing. Is the camera is this a good profile? Yeah? Is the light good? Good. Oh, I feel the suffering that is so deep, so deep. Um, my private jet is ready for when? 8 p.m.? Are we going to be done filming this by then? Can we wrap it up so I can fly back home? Yeah? Okay, thank you. Oh, yes. Oh, emotional. The impact. Oh, I'm feeling this. This is amazing. Okay, that's how it feels to me when I watch those videos that Chanel makes with these rich ladies talking about, poor characters in books. Um, it's out of touch. It's completely detached from reality. To me, it's kind of a slap in the face. It's like, look, we can afford to sit in this rich, hotel if they're doing a reading at the Ritz, or we're in one of the apartments at Rue Cambon from Chanel, and we're gonna be dressed in Chanel and from head to toe, and there's gonna be servants coming in with drinks and food, and everybody's pampering us, and we're gonna have our little spa moment after that. I'm like, and I'm supposed to look at this and feel inspired? No, I'm sorry, I don't. I don't feel inspired at all. At all. So it's tricky, I know, because how are you going to do it? Coco loved books. She loved to read. So how are you going to implement this concept of reading books and having a passion for books while at the same time not appearing to be out of touch and tone deaf? There are ways. First of all, you don't film yourself doing a round table of talking about how fabulous you are, that you read a book. You approach it in a different way. First of all, you don't film it. You don't make a spectacle out of it. You don't make a spectacle out of it. What you do is you set a date, you rent a theater, a big theater, and you make it public, because this little moment when they film 4 or 5 of these rich ladies talking about a book, it's not open to the public. It's their rich environment, and we get it filmed and perfectly packaged for us, aseptic, clean, void of any emotion but the way they wanted to choreograph it. How about, and they read the cliff notes, exactly, Live and Ferret, that period. Most of them didn't even read the book. So if you really want to make this about engaging your audience to read, if you want to make this about getting people to feel a passion for literature, why don't you organize, you rent an entire theater and you organize the reading session with all these ladies, and they're all sitting on the, on the stage of the theater, and then you have hundreds of people coming in for free, Chanel, you don't charge for that. And people come in, they sit down, and the ladies talk about the book, and then the audience can interact with them, and you create a cultural moment that actually makes sense. But instead, no. Instead, what do? We hire the brand ambassadors. I mean, you guys, you remember that one time when Charlotte Kaziragi was sitting at a table with Penelope Cruz? Penelope Cruz. Penelope Empanada Cruz. And Kristen Stewart. Okay, Kristen Stewart, who can't show an emotion to save her life, Like she literally has a frozen face. She's a like monobrow, mono emotional actress. She's like, I'm feeling emotion. I'm feeling. Okay, so she's sitting at a table with Penelope, Charlotte Kaziragi, okay, and then Vanessa Paradis. Now, Vanessa, I like Vanessa, but Vanessa is not a person to spend time with talking about books, okay? Vanessa is more like Kate Moss, you want to have fun with her at the toilet. You don't want to have fun with her at a round table where there are books involved. And so they're all sitting on this round table. This was after the Haute Couture show a couple of years ago. Virginie Viard was still around at Chanel. And they're talking about this book. And I swear to you, I was like, I'm watching this video and I'm like, they actually filmed this and decided to publish this? Like they actually decided to publish this? I'm like, okay, girl. I tried so hard to sit through that video. I could not. For the love of me, I could not finish watching it. It was so embarrassing. It was so cringe. So cringe. So I was like, you know what? We'll go. So, because Kristen Stewart, come on. Yeah. And plus, they always sabotage her. Somebody at Chanel, whoever does her makeup for the Chanel shows, Kristen Stewart always looks like a rat that has somehow miraculously survived an entire flooding of the sewer system. And she survived the sewers, and then they kind of pick her out from the sewer and they drop her into the Chanel scenario with her little 3 strands of hair and that like black, medallions around her eyes. You know how they always make her look ridiculous. And she's sitting there like barely holding on to dear life, trying to talk about a book. Girl. Just girl. Just like, you know what? Just take her back to Twilight. Just put a wig on her, please. Give her some flowy hair. Let her, act in Twilight. That's what she's for at the end of the day.
Léa Donatet de $5.
Oh, this is the same question from before?
Dacob. Cosa pensi della bellissima Charlotte
No, it's the same question in Italian.
Ambasciatrice per Chanel?
Okay,
Io
so
la trovo
Léa,
stupenda.
I'm adding another
Léa.
heart here because another tip came in. But in Italian, Léa asked the same question again. So Léa, I am really, really sorry because it seems like you really think she's really beautiful. Is she beautiful? Yeah. Yeah, Kaziragi, she's gorgeous. She's a very, very beautiful lady. But if she really wants to do something about education and reading books and getting people to read books, there's other ways. There's much, much, much better ways, in my humble opinion, because it's otherwise it's all just for show. It's not really passion for books. It's just, I don't know, it's like that situation with, which I find very interesting, speaking about books and the Chanel situation. So did you guys know that 28 La Pausa, Chanel's villa in the south of France, which she built in the 20s, after the whole situation in Europe and the world in the 30s and 40s, in the early 50s, Coco didn't want to go back anymore to that villa. She said, I want to keep the past in the past. Too much painful memories in that villa. She sold the villa to a writer and what was the guy? I forgot his name. Him and his wife. The wife was a publisher, book publisher and author, something like that. So they kept La Pausa in their hands for a few decades. And Wendy was the wife who got the villa. In her testament, in her will, she left the villa to the Dallas Museum of, Fine Arts or something. Dallas Museum. Was it Dallas or? I think it was the Dallas Museum. And so the Dallas Museum couldn't do much with the villa. I mean, because the villa is in France. and the Dallas Museum is in Dallas. So what are you going to do? They showcased photos of the villa, they showcased texts, some stuff, but it was in their ownership. Chanel, a couple of years ago, the company Chanel went to the Dallas Museum and said, we want to buy the villa from you. So we don't know how much Chanel, the company, paid for the villa.
I'm asking for 100K or more.
So they bought the villa back from the Dallas Museum. And 5 or 6 years ago, Marino, the guy who since 30 years is unfortunately, Marino, who's doing the architecture for all Chanel boutiques since 30 years, I'm like, give it a rest already. I really don't like what he's doing for Chanel. Anyway, they gave him the task to restructure the villa, to bring it back as much as possible to its original glory of how it looked in the 20s and 30s. And the other family that was living there, they saved most of Coco's furniture. They changed a couple of things. And then people writing articles about it were making fun of them, saying, well, they were Texans after all, the family, the two, they were from Texas, the ones that bought the villa. And they said, well, they had to add that Texan touch of adding pink carpets in the bathrooms. Coco would have been flabbergasted. So, of course, Peter Marino is the architect, interior designer, whatever, blah, blah. He tore all that out. He tried to bring the villa back to its original glory as much as possible by restorating whichever pieces of furniture he could restorate, the flooring panels, and whatever was not salvageable, he tried to replicate it as faithfully as possible to how it originally looked. He said there were some issues because all of the photos of the time from the 20s and 30s that Coco took inside of the villa were black and white photography. So it was really hard sometimes to match, to figure out just like how would the colors look today. So anyway, after 5 years, now they're getting to the point where they are ready to open the villa again. And there's this one chick who is hired by Chanel. She, by the way, this is all, look guys, connect the dots. Yana Patel, something like that. She used to be like the head of gallerist or curator for some huge British art gallery. Which one was it? Oh, honey, she is in the system. Money, art, like she is everywhere. Okay, she has been there. What's her name? Yana Peel. Canadian executive and businesswoman. Okay. So she was Serpentine Galleries. Yeah. She was CEO of the Serpentine Galleries from 2016 to 2019. Huge job. Chanel headhunted her, took her in. Now she's like head of Chanel arts, literature, whatever. So she now is kind of deciding where Chanel is going to invest in arts, you know. Like one of the things that they're doing now in Berlin, they're going to the Hamburger Bahnhof Museum, and they're going to do female artists like once a year or twice a year for the next 3 years. They're funding this thing, and it's connected to literature again. They're making it sound like much better than it actually is, because it's really good promotion for Chanel, but I don't see... Anyway, she has to figure out what to do with this villa. And so she had this idea of bringing it back to what it used to be. So when Coco Chanel was alive and had her La Pausa villa, she would invite artists. You know, they would have dinners there. They would stay there. Salvador Dali, with his wife Gala at the moment, stayed for 4 months in her house, just living, chilling, and working. Like she would just give the house to friends and artists, whether they be writers or painters or what have you. So now they're having the idea of reusing the villa for the same purpose, right? But again, what I think is going to happen, I will stand corrected if I am wrong, but what I think is going to happen is they're going to invite the rich, and they're going to invite the famous artists, and they're going to invite the artists that already have the money, that don't need the exposure. And those are the ones that are going to get invited to spend a couple of days in the villa and get inspired. You know what I mean? And then they're going to get photographed. And then they're going to be in the Chanel archives. It's like, look, this villa is again inhabited by these very influential artists. I'm like, that defeats the whole purpose of what Coco Chanel stood for. Yes, Coco Chanel had friends who were also very famous artists, but Coco Chanel also was the patron of the arts that would give money and subsidize art projects by artists that were not famous, that were not known. Matter of fact, before Jean Cocteau became famous, Coco Chanel would go to the theaters in Paris and the surrounding area, would give them money to subsidize his theater pieces, and she would tell them, just don't tell him I gave you the money. I don't want him to feel bad or obliged. He has talent. He's great. I want to pay to produce his theater piece. Here's the money. Make it happen. I believe in him. And she justly so believed in him. He was extremely talented, and he became the huge, famous artist that he became. Okay. Matter of fact, legend wants it that the double C that we see here is not Coco Chanel, but in the 20s, Jean Cocteau gifted this design to her because Cocteau was also a painter and a sketch artist, not only an author and a theater producer, as well as a director. So he designed this double C as a symbol of their enduring friendship. C for Cocteau and the other C for Coco. Think about that next time you look at the double C. That's something Chanel will never tell you, allegedly again. And so, of course, if they acknowledged that Cocteau did this for her, they would probably have to pay some royalties to the Cocteau Foundation. You know the whole legal shtick that goes with it. But we digress. She also, while everybody else in the area, in the south of France, was hiring famous architects, popular architects to design their villas in the 20s in that area that became super popular in the south of France, Coco Chanel was the first one to say, I don't want to work with these famous people. She hired a relatively unknown architect. She hired this young guy who didn't have much experience. She believed in him and she thought, you know what? I like what he's doing. He has potential. Let me hire him to build my villa. So the actual La Pausa villa was built by an unknown architect at the time. See what I'm saying here? So what is Chanel, the company, going to do now? Are they going to actually utilize this villa to invite unknown young artists and give them an opportunity? Or are we just going to fall into the same routine of Charlotte Kaziragi hosting a little round table where other aristocrats join her? Maybe we can add Tilda Swinton, who's also aristocratic, by the way. Maybe we can add Tilda Swinton to the table, And this is the problem that I have with Chanel, because they're so out of touch with reality. Coco was not about just aristocracy. Yes, she was about aristocracy, but not just about aristocracy. Coco understood that she needed the aristocracy of the day, of the time, to get forward in life. Because she, as a single woman, orphan, who had nothing in life, lost everything when she was very little, she needed to play her game very clearly and strategically in order to sustain herself. But her creative side, her artistic side, was a totally different vision. She would be friends with the poor, friends with the up-and-coming, friends with the young artists. That's where she was herself. Then when she turns around and looks at all of the aristocracy and the fakery and the PR bullshit, that's when she puts on a mask and acts for them. Then she turns around again and she has the true identity of Coco Chanel, which is humble beginnings, where she comes from. She was also a creative visionary person that needed somebody to support her in order for her to finally shine and deliver the fabulous fashions that she did deliver to us. And this is something where I very clearly see Chanel as a brand today, in my opinion, failing epically. They are failing epically at understanding this duality. They're just focused on the rich, on the aristocratic, on the, on the decadence. It's like, ugh, there's no soul in that. But they're not focusing on what is actually creative, on what is actually the potential for something wonderful. That's what you should invest in. Instead of, having Kaziragi and Tilda Swinton and Penelope Cruz and Kristen Stewart sitting at a round table talking about books. But I'm really curious to see who they're going to invite to this villa, because Yana Peel is apparently planning on creating this sort of miniature artist in residence scenario for the La Pausa villa. And you know what is interesting? Coco Chanel, in the 20s and in the early 30s, when she built La Pausa, and there were many rich people around her that had bigger villas, and, everybody was very decadent back in the roaring 20s and the early 30s. She made something quite different from everybody else in the surrounding area. While other people in their villas would have servants, would have crazy parties on the weekend, with drugs and a lot of things, and servants coming in and serving on platters, food and everything, she had none of that. She would invite you to this austere villa that she wanted built to look like the orphanage in Aubazine where she was raised. So you enter this place and it's a dry Baroque style, no opulence. And dinner is served in the evenings, but not to your table. It is set up like a buffet, like a buffet, the buffet. It's a buffet, and everybody, no matter how rich you are, you have to stand up yourself and you go to your table and you put on your plate what you would like to eat, and then you sit wherever you want in the house, in the living room, and you just chat and talk and sit, and you can wear whatever you want to wear. There was no dress code. It was very relaxing and chill and very much self-service. And that was a huge innovation for the time. But not just that. Already back in the late 20s and early 30s, Coco Chanel was the pioneer, without even knowing it, of what we today know of as the artist in residence. She already did it back in the 20s and 30s. She would invite artists to stay in her villa for free, of course. She was in Paris most of the time anyway. She would just say, "Here's my keys, darling." Or, she has somebody in the village who has the keys. She's like, "Oh, yes. You can go. Go. Have fun." And artists, writers, painters, musicians would spend weeks or sometimes months in the villa, creating, thinking about art. That was the first artist in residency. Done on a modern scale. Without demanding something in return. And that was already done in the 20s and 30s when nobody was doing it. Nowadays, there's a lot of cultural programs that are dedicated to this artist in residence programs. Atelier Calder, for example, is one of them. Very fascinating. I've been to that one. It's Calder's own house where he produced, also in France. And you get to spend a month or two there to produce your art, and you live in Alexander Calder's own, it's not a villa, it's like a house. And it's now part of the cultural heritage of that region of France. And then artists are invited to spend some time there and create, and it's wonderful. So that whole concept that we have today of artists in residence, Coco already did it in the 20s. She was such a visionary. So now we have this house. It's restructured and ready to go. I guess it's also a great tax write-off for the company. Good for them, because as long as we're preserving heritage, I'm all for it. But who are they gonna invite into this house? I'm not keeping my hopes up for, like, brand new discoveries of artists. In order to discover brand new artists, you have to be in touch with what is going on with culture at the moment. You have to be in the vein of what is happening in culture at the moment. And none of those people working at Chanel are anywhere close to that, in my opinion. So they don't even know who to invite, right? You see what I mean? Like, you have to be surrounded by such people to know. But no, they're all too busy dressing up and doing PR photos and behaving shallow and not having Instagram profiles that show too much character because, corporate doesn't like that. Everybody's too busy being aloof and sophisticated. Everybody's too busy trying to press themselves in this weird form that Chanel wants you to be pressed in this emotionless, this kind of, oh, I barely have enough energy to lift my hand, let alone to, turn the page of this book. That's the Chanel vibe today. It's always this aloofness, this bloodless, it's lacking the energy. It's, peel me a grape. Exactly. And this is the thing, so I wish that things would change. I wish that they could have a different vision, a different orientation, but I don't see it happening. I see it a little bit happening in their chants range, for their perfumes, because they're more youthful. They're catered to a younger generation. But then, then they hired this, lady who, okay, again, Angèle, this Belgian singer who sings in French, and the French love her, apparently. But she's another one of those, like, looks like she came out of the 60s. Very, very this, very, very, little, giving me some Brigitte Bardot meets what Catherine Deneuve could have been, Jean Moreau aesthetic, but like more Brigitte Bardot and that kind of 60s, 70s vibe. But again, and it's a very French thing of that time, being a little bit bloodless, in your attitude and your demeanor. And I'm annoyed by it, it doesn't do it for me. And I'm not saying that you have to do the opposite of that either. I'm not saying that you gotta be like crazy out there. I'm not saying you gotta be divine from John Waters. Okay. I'm not saying you gotta be divine. I'm not saying you gotta be Bianca Del Rio or, Jinx Monsoon. Although Jinx Monsoon, in my humble opinion, is much more elegant than she's given credit of being. But that's a whole other story for another time. Anyway, so let's talk about Chanel and for a second. I have another video to share with you today. Sad one, but oh well. It is what it is. All right. So, serious topic now. Okay, so what we're going to talk about next is Chanel quality here, and the conversation we're about to have now is much deeper than your regular. Are Chanel bags still worth it? Are you going to sell your whole Chanel bag collection? Are the Chanel bags made in China? Like, that's really, really as superficial as this shit can get. We're not going to go there. We're going to have a much elevated conversation about really more complex concepts when it comes to Chanel's quality. So bear with me, people. Let's try to do this. This video is probably not going to get any views unless I don't do a little snippy snappy title for it. But let's give it a go. Let's try at least. Okay. Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. We're going to talk Chanel quality today. Now let's just put aside a couple of notions that have been circulating on social media lately, like luxury brands from Europe made in China. Go watch my 6 or 7 videos that I made on that topic, also available to you on my channel. We're not going to touch base on that. No, their bags are not made in China. Still, there are quality issues. And if you guys remember, back in 2022, I've had a big problem with Chanel quality control when it comes to their leather. I purchased the back then newly released in its 2nd season, 22 bag for the Métier d'Art collection in a gorgeous magenta color. 20 minutes into wearing that bag, it started peeling. The leather started peeling. 20 minutes into wearing it. That was one of those rare moments when Chanel actually immediately accepted a return with full refund. Back then, that was the whole thing. And since then, I said, you know what? Oof, let's not do this again. I did have one tiny red bag on chain from them, red caviar leather, which also started shipping and peeling, returned that as well. That one was sent off for repairs. They did not want to refund that one so easily. It came back from repairs even more damaged. And after I think they tried to send it for repairs twice, then they have to give you at least a voucher. And I told them, look, at this point, your prices are going up. Every time you send off the bag, it comes back. It's after another price increase. It loses in value because I paid it I paid the previous price before the repair. Terrible. So I said no more Chanel leather bags for me since 2022 until 2025 arrived, and I started thinking about their special leather collection, which is made just for the beauty boutiques. Leather items that are made to carry your makeup, your perfumes, your skincare. It's like an extra luxurious collection of small leather goods that are only available in the Chanel beauty boutiques, not in the fashion boutiques. So I'm like, you know what? Let me test out the quality of their leather now in 2025 in the beauty boutique realm, because I thought to myself, where the leather that they're using for beauty pouches, beauty bags, vanity bags, like it must be more substantial and sturdy because they expect you to really use it, to put all your makeup in it all the time, you know, zipper up, open, close, zipper, close lid, you know, open, close all day long because you're using your makeup all day long. So I thought to myself, let me take one for the team, let me test their leather in the beauty department. Also, they produce their small leather goods for their beauty department, mostly in Spain, some in Italy, and rarely in France. But they also do make some in France. So, enter Exhibit A. A couple of weeks ago, or was it months ago at this point, I purchased this bag. I did an unboxing on my channel. There's a whole video with the unboxing, and I really, really like it. And it is the little vanity pouch. Let me show you. This little beauty here smells divine, caviar leather, black. It's the classic black color with the burgundy interior, and it does have that Made in Spain logo. So I wanted to test, and it has this gorgeous nylon on the inside for their beauty products. I really love this. I use this as a little tiny clutch when I go to dinner. Credit card in here, tissues, perfume, and that's it. And it's been holding up really well. Now, this is the black leather. So my sales associate says, Dacob, we're going to get the pastel limited edition colors this season. I love pastels. So I'm like, okay, what colors? pastel green, pastel pink, and pastel purple. Well, they call it light purple. I'm like, I'm all about the purple. So I say, put me down for one purple bag. The purple bag arrived and I bought the purple bag. I came back home and I'm going to start blending in pictures for you guys to see. Let me blend in the first picture. So this is this is me with the purple pouch. It is a lavender purple. It is beautiful. It's made in Spain. Now, I circled this spot here for you to see, and you're going to think, what is that? It's nothing. It's nothing from far away, but it is something from close up. And I didn't see this flaw in the beauty boutique because they have very strong lights in the beauty boutique. I saw this when I came home. And I'm like, what is this little dot? Let me show you the next picture. This is a zoomed in photo. And yes, the lavender turns like a grayish when you zoom in with a flash. So it's the same pouch. This is literally, you guys, it's a needle cut. When they were stitching this thing with a little machine and they flip the bag inside out, or it was inside out when they stitch it, then they flip it back in, and the needle just kind of cut through this area. And I think it went tuk-tuk twice because there's one cut there. So here, not only is this glossy, pebbly caviar surface cut through, but also part of the leather is cut through. Now, some of you are going to start saying, well, they make these in the masses. They just churn them out like crazy. They make a gazillion of these. Quality control is so cheap. Nobody cares anymore, blah, blah, blah. No, I have a different theory today. And well, anyway, long story short, I immediately write my sales associate. I'm like, look, we have this issue. My fault because here I am trying again Chanel leather, and then you get this as a problem. And she's like, no, don't worry about it. Really, I'm so sorry that this happened to you. So Chanel was fabulous to me. They were like, bring it back immediately. We're going to see if we can get a second one in for you because they had planned to they only ordered 2. And this is really important to notice as we're going along with this story because the point that I'm going to make, we're going to have a tangent here and a trajectory, but they're very limited. This is not something that was churned out in the gazillions. There are not that many Chanel beauty boutiques worldwide. There's not that many. And not every beauty boutique ordered all of these pouches in all of the colors. So what I'm trying to say here is that worldwide, they maybe made 100, 200 of these in purple. That's it. So this is not a situation where the factory was producing a gazillion of these and they had to make them really fast and there was no time for quality control. Like this is a symbolic gesture, making these items. Now you also might be thinking, wait, Dacob, but they're making a ton of money for these. They cost $950 plus tax. It's like $1,042, depending which state you're in. But yeah, it's over $1,000 for something this little. Yeah, is it crazy? Yes, it's crazy. And you might think the profit margins that they're making by selling this bag. And this is where you are wrong. This is why we're talking on a higher level here. They're not making profits off of these. Stick with me and you'll find out. So the next day, they receive a second one. And I'm called in to exchange, if I want to exchange my pouch for the second purple pouch that they got. They only received 2 total. So I go into the beauty boutique again, and they bring out the new pouch, and I inspect the new pouch. Let me show you the next picture. This is the bottom of the pouch. And now you might be looking, thinking, what, right there. Or I have another picture to show you with a close-up, but I notice immediately that the surface is peeling. And I'm like, yeah, the leather. And here is this attitude that they have with glazing the surface of the leather with paint, whatever they do, but it's not sturdy, it chips. How are you supposed to wear this and put your makeup in it and use it all the time when it already arrives to you damaged? Let me show you the close-up, and you're going to see very clearly in my next close-up what we're talking about. So at least the leather underneath was also dyed in this lavender color. So these little things that you see underneath, that's like the holes where the hair was of the animal, right? The pores or pores. And then this glossy, pebbly, imprinted texture that gives us the caviar texture, that is this, it's a kind of a glossy surface, right? It's like an added layer of like a lacquered glossy surface, which makes Chanel look amazing. That glossy surface makes it look like candy. It makes it look attractive. It makes it look supple. It attracts you to it because it's so glossy and fun. And this from here, all this part, is literally this entire, like 2 of these pebbles just chipped off. And the third pebble, caviar pebble here, grained, they call it a grained embossing. It started chipping as well. It's just peeling off. Like if you go under it with your nail and just pull it off, you can just like take this and just like peel it off. And then you get that underneath. And this is a mattified texture. It's no longer glossy. And this is what you're spending $1,000 for. This is new, brand new, out of the factory, just landed into the beauty boutique, and it's ready to be sold like this. So this is the second one that I inspected, and of course I did not want this one either, so I got a refund. I got my money back. Thank you, Chanel. They were very, very kind. Now, here's where we're going to get to. This isn't even about quality control anymore. This is about the actual quality of your materials. What are you doing, Chanel? And this is a little bit complicated now, so follow me. I have had this conversation years ago at another beauty boutique with the store manager when we were talking about their Les Exclusives fragrances. I have my babies here. I love them to bits, okay? And she told me, she's like, Dacob, I'm like, they keep going up in price. Price increase after price increase. And she's like, but Chanel doesn't make any money off of these. This is like not a profit maker. This is not where the money's at. And I know a lot of people are going to say that is impossible. It only costs a couple of cents to make a perfume. That is not true. If you are a very big corporation like Chanel, you start making a lot of money when you produce a lot of product. This product is not available everywhere. It's not produced in big quantities. It's produced in very small quantities. That already cuts your profits dramatically. Second of all, distribution. Extremely limited, but also difficult because they're sold in only special places where these perfumes require an entire section of the beauty boutique. In other words, they cost money to store inside of a store. They take up a lot of space. They are there to represent the prestige of Chanel. Chanel invests money to have them represent the heritage of Chanel. It is a tax write-off. It is for promotional purposes. It is something, and of course everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. But Chanel opens up their beauty boutiques, but they don't make a profit. In order for a Chanel beauty boutique with the highest standards that they have, in order for those boutiques to make a profit, they need to make millions. In other words, Chanel always chooses a location in a very prestige area of the city because they need representation. That costs a lot of money. A lot of money. To create the interior design, the architecture of the shop requires a ton of money. To then section off an entire area of the boutique to fragrances that virtually have no advertisement whatsoever anywhere. It's only word of mouth that sells Les Exclusives. That costs a ton of money. Then they create these special trinkets for the beauty boutiques, limited edition nail polish, limited edition perfume container, limited edition boutique exclusive sunglasses. All of this costs money, and they produce them in small quantities because when a product is a boutique exclusive product, it's not like Chanel has that many boutiques worldwide. Very small quantities, and it's all made for prestige, just to represent the brand. Enter the small leather goods. The small leather goods are available in very limited quantities, especially these requested colors, special colorways. And by the way, let me show you the next picture. This is what Chanel sent me for Mother's Day. This photo, they said, now we have also Mother's Day small leather goods in the pastel colors. That's the pouch that I got. Then you have this one on chain. This one is made in France, Spain, sometimes Italy, sometimes Spain. So credit for the photo, Chanel. Beautiful. Isn't it just beautiful? Sure, it's beautiful. But they're really hard to get. You need to, in other words, be a client of the Chanel beauty boutique and have a rapport with your sales associate so that they put aside one of these for you. Because otherwise they're gone in a minute. They're gone immediately. But Chanel delivers one or two. They only delivered one green, two purples. That's it. And one or two pinks to my beauty boutique. Now, think of it this way. This is like an extra added something for the customer that already buys everything at Chanel. In other words, it's not a freebie. You're paying for it. But it's like an extra gesture, like, you're buying everything from us, thank you so much. We have this special little edition coming out. Do you want one? And then you pay it. But Chanel also has PR, right? For PR, they give you special boxes. When Au Splendide came out, some influencers were sent that little kind of record player in silver with Angèle's song. She wrote a song. I don't know if she wrote it, but she sang a song for Au Splendide, the launch. These are not freebies, but they are treated as, look, they're special tokens. You get access to them because you've been a loyal customer for so long. Now, what I think is happening here is that Chanel is thinking, this is something for somebody who already has a ton of things from Chanel. And it's true. I mean, I have a lot of Chanel stuff. And so for me, this was like a special little extra, oh, wow, the special color. Love this lavender, lilac-y purple, very 80s. And they're not making many of them. There is no pressure from the factory to produce really quick because it's not like they got to produce 1 million of these. They were supposed to be released in March, but they only arrived in May. So they even took extra time to do all that. So they took their good time, the factories in Spain, to make them. But somehow I wonder where this disconnect happens, where the quality lacks, because you might say Chanel just wants to maximize their profits. They want to cheap out. They're going to use the worst ingredients, the worst materials to make this just to make a profit. They're not making a profit on this. That's what I'm telling you. They're not making enough of these to make a profit. And also, the difference between getting a leather that is better quality than this would also not cost them more, a lot more. In other words, this is not about cutting costs. At these levels, this is no longer about cutting costs. This is no longer about, oh, let me maximize my profits. This is more about finding a factory, in this case in Spain, that would produce these items with the exact, instructions that you give them. You want that exact color, that exact shade of lilac, that exact shade of green. And then they do it for you, and you want it to be lacquered, and you want it to look supple and good. And I think they think the people who buy this, they will treat this as a freebie. Because well, you already have everything from Chanel, so you're going to get this as a little extra trinket to use in your bag. You're not really even going to care about the quality of this item. And it's not that they're thinking, oh, let's make this quality inferior to save money. I just think that they don't think about it at all. That's what I think. That's what I think this is going towards. It's like, I really believe that at this point in time, a person that can afford, and by that I don't mean from time to time, but I mean like a person that can really afford Chanel, like a total look from the runway, from a pret-a-porter collection that's going to cost you, from $50,000 to $100,000 and upwards. Like that person will buy this as an afterthought. Like they will treat this as they would treat a vanity case that you buy at CVS or at H&M. But I have another issue, and that issue is the quality of Chanel's freebies is better than this. How come their freebies, here's one. I got it at the Eau Splendide launch of the perfume at the event. This was one of the freebies. This pouch that has the shape of the bottle, right? And inside it has this gorgeous lavender color, made in China. Perfect. Like there's no cut, there's no hole, there's no mistake, there's no threads missing, there's no stitch out of place. If this were a purchasable item, if Chanel charged you $1,000 for this, if this was made to be sold and not given as a freebie, I think it would have a flaw. I think it would have mistakes. There would be a cut somewhere. There would be some mistake in there. I wonder why. But because it's a freebie, there's no mistake. So I started thinking, maybe what is going on here, maybe it's not lack of quality control. Maybe it's too much pressure to deliver something extremely perfect that gives people anxiety. When I am given a task to do something, but then I am told, but be extra careful, this is an extra special piece and it has to be done even more precise, that's when I get anxious and that's when I make mistakes. But if you tell me, I'll just make 10 of them, and I don't think about it and I just make 10 of them, there are usually not going to be any mistakes there. So I'm thinking, were these overprotected? Were these items, in other words, was too much care given to them to the point where, like with the dogs, when you have one breed of dogs, and you just want to stick to that one breed, and the dogs throughout generations become overbred, and they've just, then they start getting all these diseases, and the dogs don't live long lives, and they're just overbred, and the genetic pool shrinks more and more, and you just get more and more flaws. That's what Chanel leather bags feel to me, like they're overbred. They've been overly like treated like with gloves, that to the point where now they're overbred. Gloria says, I have a theory or thought, Dacob. I worked in wholesale apparel. Hear me out. Could it be because of whoever is management? Some people are harder to please than others. No, I don't think it's that simple, because this is not about management. I think Chanel just can't pull their shit together to get these items done properly. And it's no longer about maximizing profits, because like I said, for the small leather goods, for their beauty boutiques, there's no profit. In the bigger scheme of things, like a beauty boutique is there for visibility, for prestige, to be present in a central part of the city where there's important stuff around. And they pay for that on top. Those shops rarely make profits, because it costs a lot to maintain them. It costs a lot to rent them. It costs a lot to keep changing merchandise. And Chanel is very precise with their merchandise. You gotta swap out the entire windows every month or so with brand new installations in the windows, with brand new decorations throughout the entire store. And they do that with every new collection that comes out. That is a ton of money that goes into doing that. So those beauty boutiques, they don't make profits. They're nowhere near making profits at the end of the fiscal year. So, interesting. And Marie has a point here indirectly. Marie says, China has had plenty of practice making items, so the shops have perfected it, in my opinion. Well, this is the point, Marie. The freebie made in China is perfect. The item made in Spain is not. China has had enough time to perfect, working quickly, steadily, yes, while Europe works at a different pace. Yet again, more proof that these bags are not made in China, like some TikTok videos claim, but they're made in Europe. Those little imperfections. Let me go back again to show you the imperfections. Let me go back to picture number 4. Yeah, or from the beginning, and then we can, let me scroll next. It's such a rookie mistake, but it's also a mistake of somebody who's like just not that versed in doing this without thinking too much. Or the next one with the peeling. Now this is like and the next one with the close-up of here. There. This is how you package it after the product is produced, and then you ship it off, right, to the boutiques. Now, here's the thing. Again, it's overly bred, like the breed of dogs. Why am I saying this? Because it's not like these, in China, you put this little powder, once it's manufactured, they put it in a plastic bag quickly, put a ton of them on top of each other and ship it off. Chanel has different standards. You have to put protection paper inside of the pouch. You have to put the pouch in a cloth. That cloth has to be put in a box. To the pouch, you have to add the tag with the serial number. You have to add the tag with the product number. You have to add the sticker. It has to be put in the right box. This box then has to have a slide like a slider envelope put on top with the sticker of the factory designation, where it was made. There's so much that goes into taking care of this one product. And while you're managing this product, putting it into its pouch, the pouch in the bag in the box in the sleeve, this can happen. Because there's so many steps of creating this desirability around this item, of creating this whole dream around this item, that stuff like this happens. Instead, if you just made this pouch, threw it in its plastic bag, and then ship it off, less chances of something like this happening. Now, does this give me hope that, let's say, if they didn't scratch up this pouch for whatever reason, and if it didn't have the scratch, does this give me hope that it would have held up, in time while I'm using it and putting it in my bag and putting my perfume in it or whatever? Would this have happened to me as well? Because I think it would have, because it seems like that leather underneath has a very thin coat of this lacquered, embossed caviar look. And once just a little dent into it will make it chip, and then the whole thing starts peeling. Or think about it this way: whatever soft makers are in this chemical compound of lacquer that they use, with time, as it dries out, it would crack. Who's to tell me that this wouldn't, in a year or two, this other surface, that it wouldn't also kind of become more brittle and hard as it dries out with time, and then it just starts cracking? So then they should have used a different coating. Maybe that's the issue. Let me go back to the last image. So for these vanities on chain, I have compared them to the pouches. The vanity on chain that's made in France has a very different leather texture. It has a more grainy, thick, sturdy, pebbly caviar leather than the made in Spain pouch. And it seems like it's more colored through the leather. Like, it doesn't look like just a coated surface of lacquer that can chip off. They seemed more sturdy. These seemed a little bit more iffy. In these pastel colors, because I repeat, my black one is perfect. I've been using it, it's perfect. There's no chips, there's no dents. It feels more substantial though. It's not as thin as these. So maybe they just couldn't get the right product out there to get this color just right, like Chanel wanted it. Mind you, they've also recalled their new lipsticks because something with the bullets wasn't working. They were falling out. But they produced them quickly, and they had to recall all of them. You know how much money is lost by all of the beauty boutiques sending them all back? And they have to remake them again? Yeah, but they do it. Smells divine, though. So I'll keep you posted on this little pouch, how it keeps up with time. Because my return window for this one has passed. But I'm really happy with it so far. Very, very happy with it. This no-go. So that's what I'm thinking. I am thinking that they just cannot produce these in such a good quality because they're overbred. And it's not about the money at this point. It's about prestige. It's about just buy it to have it for a little while and then buy a new one. But Chanel, I'm sorry. I mean, maybe some of your customers don't care about, dropping $1,000 like it were $1. I still think you need to show more respect towards your own heritage as a brand. So what if somebody can afford buying 20 of these and not care about the quality? That's kind of vulgar, in my opinion. What you should care about is the one person that buys it and cares about the quality. And I think more people should let Chanel know when the quality is not right, instead of being afraid of telling it. And then the sales associate is going to say, they're not going to offer me another bag next season if I complain this season. No. If you're working with somebody who behaves that way and is not going to offer you another, to purchase another bag next season just because you complained this season, then they're not the right person to work with to begin with. So you should definitely change or boutique or sales associate, because Chanel needs to know. Quality is not there. We've given it another go. Maybe the black leather, they're a little bit more versed in making these because they always make the black ones. So, with these, it's easier maybe than with the other colors. And yes, Charlene says, no, these should not be considered disposable items. I agree with you. So let me know your thoughts down below. Interesting conversation. A little bit complex because of all of the weird calculations that go into it, and acknowledging the fact that these beauty boutiques are not really money makers. They are advertisers, where they spend money instead of earning money. It just kind of makes you think much more about how the whole structure is, why they make these things, how they make these things, the small numbers in which they make these things. It's really fascinating. Very, very fascinating. So, bottom line is, should I have just kept the first pouch that had that one little cut at the bottom? Because that's what Chanel is. It's about having that lilac version of the Chanel pouch. It's not about having that lilac version of the good quality Chanel pouch. It's just having that lilac version of the Chanel pouch. Charlene says no. Live in Ferret says no, don't accept it. Aish says, having said all of the above, I still want them, says Aish. Yes, we never give up on Chanel. Amy Pickett says, no way. Cecilia says, no way. Not for $1,000. Never, says Purple Butterfly. Let me know your thoughts down below. Love you loads. Subscribe and never give up on love. Bye. But interesting. Interesting topic, wasn't it? So, food for thought. Thought for food, food for thought. Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. If there's no flaw, it's not authentic Chanel any longer. Well, no, the pouch I have has no flaw. This little black one. But their freebies also have no flaws. So, I don't know. Well, let me close this again. Sarah says, everyone's doing those pastel colors this season. Maybe you'll find another brand you like. Yeah, it's not about another brand. It's about Chanel. Hi, Nicole Pancakes. How's it going, sweetie? I hope you had fun. Saika says, I agree with Sarah. I think the current Chanel has no soul anymore. It's just another corporation. Yeah. But before we started filming the topic, I was saying just that same thing, Zeitgeist, about when I was talking about the La Pausa Villa reconstruction, and who they're going to invite, which artists are they going to invite to do their, you know what I mean? Okay, so okay, so now we're going to talk about. Oh, I need coffee. We're going to talk about something that has happened. That coffee's cold. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, We're going to talk about a company no, I need like a smidge of milk, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of coffee, and then hot water. So the coffee is cold, but it can be also warm. Zach says, very good topic, Dacob. And for me, yet again, sober reminder, because up until now, I was ready to go nuclear to the Chanel boutique this Thursday. Oh, cha. I mean, go to it. Look, you guys, like I said, the black pouch is fine. 2 purple pouches, not fine. Zach, do you happen to know the price in Europe of the pouches? How much are they in Europe? Are they also like what's their price tag in Europe? Louis, please make me a latte. Latte Machito. Latte Machito. Louis, make me a latte Machito. A latte Machito, baby. Oh, yeah, this is the powder brush. Why? Yeah. The 106, yes. Oh, it is around 1K? Oh, okay. Thanks, Zach. Because I thought it was around about like 800, but good to know. Oh, Zach, perfumes only. Perfumes and costume jewelry, I would say. Or denim. A denim bag. I like a Chanel denim bag. No, she didn't change shape, babes. It goes like this. Like that's how it is. Well, that's how it used to be made. I don't know if they are making them differently now. But yeah, they go like that and then like that. I have 3 of these. They're all the same. Yeah, the lilac color is adorable. Adorable. And if they get a 3rd one in for me, I might look at that as well. Frank Zier, thank you so much for becoming a Tier 1 member. Let's talk quickly about something sad that happened to a company in the UK. We got breaking news. So there is a company announced that they are no longer going to exist. They are going bankrupt, they are failing, and the announcement was made by their co-owner. Ben is his name. Ben and his brother have had to announce failure after, I don't want to say a decade, maybe a little bit less than a decade of having founded a company in the UK that was dealing with luxury goods, like resale of luxury goods, or pre-loved goods. So they started a company, as Ben, one of the co-owners, says in their like bedroom, from their bedroom, doing it just online quickly, and then it expanded more and more and more. Started a TikTok account, YouTube account, started worldwide domination. Everybody knew them, and everybody was ordering from them until a couple of years ago. Was it a year or 2 ago? They made a strange video where they said that their storage was broken into and that a lot of items were stolen. Items that you can imagine. I mean, I don't know if they got most of them on commission or if they would purchase the items like the luxury bags and luxury stuff, and then they would sell them off, or if they would kind of hold them in their stock, and then once they sold the item, the person who commissioned them to them would get their money. Anyway, a lot was stolen, and they tried to deal with the theft and building up their business after the theft for about a year or two. And finally, yesterday or a couple of days ago, Ben, the co-owner of LuxCollective, announced on TikTok that LuxCollective is no longer going to exist. Ben was devastated. Oh, Chunky Shoes UK says they bought them outright from the customer. Yeah. So LuxCollective was devastated that their luxury goods were stolen from them. Yeah, it's devastating. But you know what else is devastating? You know what else is devastating? Something very devastating happened when LuxCollective stole my video. That was also devastating, Ben. Where were you then, Ben, when you stole my video, how to pronounce Elsa Schiaparelli, used it on all your social media platforms to promote your business? To promote LuxCollective, you used my likeness, my video, how to pronounce Elsa Schiaparelli, and you stole it. I had hundreds of people, my viewers, writing you on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, telling you, hey, you didn't even credit Dacob for using his video to advertise your business. You didn't ask his permission. Please take down the video. You then ignored every single comment under the video that you stole from me, that you posted on Instagram. You ignored every comment on Instagram, asking you to take it down. You ignored every comment on TikTok because you posted that video also on TikTok without my permission and without giving me credit. And you ignored every single person asking you to take it down and to credit me. You did the same on YouTube. I wrote you a DM. You ignored it. I wrote you an email asking you politely to cease and desist, asking you, hey, Ben and LuxCollective, you're using my likeness, my content, my video to promote your brand, and you're not asking my permission, you're not paying me for it, and I do not wish to endorse you or your brand. I made a video about this a couple of years ago. Let me show you the picture of my thumbnail. Lovely little summery makeup look in my 80s face. This is the video. This is me with short hair when I did the How to Pronounce Schiaparelli video. They just took this, look at that, LuxCollective, on their TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and they just used me. So I made a video to ask Miss Thing to take down my video. Then at a certain point, I get a gaslighting email from one of these people that work for them. Do I have it here? No. I thought we had it. Yeah, it's a YouTube comment. Do I have it? I get a YouTube comment from, not an email, I get a YouTube comment from one of the members of LuxCollective. Ella, I guess, works for them. So this was about a year ago. There you go. No, or longer than that, I think. Hey, Dacob, Ella from LuxCollective here. It's almost 2 years ago, but YouTube only switches the 1 year to 2 years after 2 years have passed. It's more than a year ago. Hey, Dacob, Ella from LuxCollective here. I'm very sorry that we used your video and caused such upset. All of the videos have now been removed from our platforms. Bullshit. I had to file copyright claims for all three of them. Ella only reacted once YouTube took down the video because I struck, and Instagram took down the video after I struck. So now they were left only with TikTok. TikTok was very slow to process my claim, but you know how TikTok is used to be, at least 2 years ago, more strict with strikes than these other platforms. Like, you don't mess with TikTok because strikes don't expire on TikTok like they expire on YouTube and on Instagram. So once she was left with only one more video of mine on TikTok, then she wrote me a message saying, we didn't, so now been removed from our platforms. Two platforms removed thanks to me. You took it off of TikTok finally because you got scared. We didn't post with the intention to exploit you nor to make money. It was purely an oversight on our behalf. Honey, dumb doesn't make you win a lawsuit. Okay, being dumb doesn't mean that you're okay. You didn't do anything bad. You didn't do anything illegal because you didn't know any better. Dumb doesn't protect you in the court of law. So just to touch on some of the points you raised, this is where the gaslighting, oh my God. Okay, our DMs are monitored by our customer service, not social media team. Now she's lecturing me. Yeah, now she's being a condescending B, C, whichever of the two you prefer. I like to use both terms. They were unaware of the error. Well, yeah, again, you're so dumb. That doesn't help you in the court of law. Hence the lack of response. We posted the video a day later onto YouTube, as we do with most short-form content. It was scheduled, or as some like to say, scheduled, at the same time, not purposefully posted after the fact. I don't care about your purpose or purposeless attitude. You don't do this without asking permission. How dare you? With regards to the comments, we receive thousands of comments a day. Oh yes, you're so popular. Still, what? Your excuse for not answering to me is because you receive thousands of comments? You got bigger fish to fry. And try our best to monitor them. However, this is something we're actively improving as we grow our team. Boy, how this comment aged terribly. Boy, oh boy. Growing your team? What team, honey? You got no team left. Once again, I'm very sorry for the upset we've caused. We have since taken the steps to further educate ourselves on the laws around copyright and fair use to ensure a mistake like this will not happen again. Also, Ben, our founder, the one in the video, has reached out to you on his personal Instagram account to express his apologies and hopefully be able to talk this through with you. Thanks, Ella. Ben never contacted me. Never. Not a single message, not a single DM, not a single email. I checked my spam. I checked the requests. When this was happening, right after Ella wrote this comment, I checked everywhere. Not a single trace of Ben's apology to be found anywhere. Gee, maybe the thieves didn't only steal your inventory, Ben. Maybe they also stole your comment / and or message. Isn't karma a bitch? You steal and you get stolen. Good luck to you, Ben, in your future endeavors. In another lawsuit, breaking news. Well, do you guys remember a couple of months ago or over a year ago, Louis Vuitton entered into a lawsuit with pocket socks? Actually, pocket socks, however they're called, sued Louis Vuitton because Pharrell Williams had the brilliant idea to allegedly copy their sock designs with little pockets on the sides. Pop socket. No, not pop sockets. No. Pocket socks. Pop socks. Pop socks are pocket socks. Socks. They are socks with pockets on them. And they sued them because they claimed that Louis Vuitton's socks look just like their socks with the pockets on the sides of the socks. Not just that, but they're also using their terminology to describe the socks on their social media. I have a couple of pictures here. No, we were not supposed to film this. Okay. So, this is the picture, and this is the Louis Vuitton description of stuff. Pop socks at a certain point, but they also mention pocket socks. Well, I don't know if the brand calls itself pop socks. In any case, this is Pharrell's genius design. And 1 year later, the court in America has come to the decision. Okay, what's the next picture? Oh, so this is pocket socks. The United States of America Patent and Trademark Office has given that little pocket thing trademark. Pocket Socks Incorporated, California Corporation, blah, 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 Solana Beach, blah, blah. The mark consists, okay, supplemental register. The mark consists of three-dimensional configuration composing a sock where the toe and heel of the sock are shaded and 11 shaded circles appear, okay, on the sock. At the top of the sock is a pocket with the interior in a small polka dot pattern. The broken line is to represent, I guess this was cut off. The broken line is to represent the zipper being open. What do you guys think? Is Louis Vuitton guilty or not guilty? Before I give you the verdict. Exactly, A. The way he got inspired from knockoff street markets. IYK. Canal Street, baby. Anya's like, where's the pocket? Right there. This is the zipper pull. That's the pocket.
I took inspiration from Canal Street.
Exactly. Cecilia says guilty. Erica says guilty. Terry says guilty. Sarah says, I just assume Pharrell borrows heavily from others. Steals. Allegedly. Purple Butterfly says guilty. Live in Ferret says butter. Nettie says guilty. Sheridan says not guilty. Akolu says, not gonna lie, Canal Street does have some good stuff. Sometimes I wish they would make those as part of their collections. Well, Pharrell did just that. He even said it in an interview when he did his soft speedies for his first collection. Polly S says guilty and tacky. Kelly says they are always guilty. Ludovina says innocent. Brafia says not guilty. Vanessa says pockets look different enough. Anya is asking, what are we supposed to put in the pockets? Well, pills, condoms, broken dreams, and the likes. Kari says guilty. Well, 1 year after the lawsuit was filed, The courts came through, and the verdict is not guilty.
This is like butter.
Not guilty. However, the judge did claim that the verdict was without prejudice, which means that pop sockets or pocket socks can rephrase their claim again. If they want to, they can deliver a better, more in-depth, more detailed case for the judge to look at again. But 1 year after this situation started, the courts have said that Louis Vuitton has the right to make these socks for several reasons. One of the reasons being that this was so shady of the judge, in my opinion, because the judge says, well, Louis Vuitton sells their socks from $500 upwards, while pocket socks is in the $50 range. Louis Vuitton only sells in their prestigious shops, their own shops, while pocket socks are available at QVC and other places. So, like, nobody would confuse the two. The judge was so shady. The judge then also said, plus Louis Vuitton has a very visible logo on their socks, which you can see there. And that makes it clear that it's not confusing the customer. Because the whole point, Mahor is asking, why is that relevant? Because the whole point about claiming copyright or ownership is to say, look, if you lift one sock and the other sock, the customer will be confused. They might think that the Louis Vuitton sock is the pocket sock, the pocket sock. But so that means that Louis Vuitton is stealing part of the market that pocket socks is built for themselves through hard work and paying for the patent and what have you. But the judge says in their ruling, well, there is no confusion. The person who wants to buy a pocket sock for $50 is never gonna, by accident, end up buying a $500 Louis Vuitton sock and then claim that they were confused. They thought they were buying a pocket sock for $50, but then another zero was added to the price. But the judge did say, and I have here, so what the judge did say is that what did the judge say? Delving further, Judge Sammartino, hold on. Okay. Judge Sammartino, Janice L. Sammartino, found that pop socks had not plausibly alleged a likelihood of confusion. As pocket socks' allegation that Louis Vuitton use of the phrase pocket socks and its production of side-by-side images of the two companies' products was not enough. The side-by-side product comparisons images provided by pocket socks must be evaluated in context, and here the context strongly disfavored confusion due to the substantial price gap between the two companies, products, and distinct market positioning of the two brands. Pocket socks sell for somewhere in the sub $50 range on platforms like Amazon and QVC. The court noted, whereas Louis Vuitton socks sell upwards of $500 and were debuted at Paris Fashion Week. A price difference so drastic, coupled with non-competitive retail channels, can be reason enough to conclude, as a matter of law, that consumer confusion is unlikely, the court stated. Delving further into the low chance of confusion, Judge Sammartino, citing Ninth Circuit precedent, found that Louis Vuitton's prominent use of its own trademarks on the socks is likely to reduce the risk of confusion. The Ninth Circuit has upheld lower courts that have determined, as a matter of law, that consumer confusion was unlikely when the parties' products display their house marks, the judge stated. However, they did rule without prejudice, so they are allowing Pop Socks to come back for more. Yeah. So, against that background, the court dismissed the lawsuit without prejudice, allowing Pocket Socks to amend its claims against Louis Vuitton. However, Judge Sammartino cautioned that any amended complaint must provide both a plausible, factual basis for a likelihood of confusion and a properly articulated trade dress definition. In other words, they threw shade at the plaintiff by saying, Honey Boo Boo Cha, you did not even file this lawsuit properly. Like, no. So there you go. Now, they dismissed the lawsuit, they kicked it outright, but that means Louis Vuitton wins because Louis Vuitton doesn't have to pay damages yet, because it is dismissed without prejudice, which means Pocket Socks can come back for more. If they want to spend more money on legal funds, we'll go. So there you go. Yeah. Infringing on copyright is copying the design of an existing copyrighted product, Apple Dainty says. Yeah, and this is a patented product, actually. It has a patent on it. There you go. Purple Butterfly says, I don't think the price should really be relevant when it comes to plagiarism or copyright. Yeah. Sarah S. says, I understand the legal reasoning. I just dislike how Pharrell lied about stealing Marvin Gaye's song and passed it off as his own. He lost that lawsuit, the gaslighting. Well, and what about the situation with Khalees? Wasn't she also upset that Pharrell took her stuff too? Allegedly? Khalees was super upset. I remember she even made videos on that was before even TikTok was huge. She was on Twitter, on Facebook. I don't know if she was on Instagram. Khalees was she was spilling the tea. She was like, okay, look, I did this, I did that. I wasn't credited for this. I wasn't credited for that. Khalees was upset, you guys. So, and she was really upset. She wasn't acting upset. You know what I mean? You can tell when somebody's just acting up a little bit, and you can tell when somebody's really annoyed, upset. She was upset. Mahor says, yes, he sampled her song for Beyoncé. Erica says, Louis Vuitton debió usar una licencia para usar los bolsos en las calcetas. Yeah, but which license do you mean, Erica? Like a license to just a general license from Pocket Socks? Asking permission for them to use the little baglets for the socklets? I mean, what I think Pop Socks wanted was some money for the sale of those socks. But those socks were a seasonal thing, you guys. I don't even know how many of them they sold. Not many, probably. Yeah, Purple Butterfly. I also think there's a pattern at this point. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, A is asking me, I don't know if you talked about this in your previous lives, but what do you think about the Labubu trend? Well, A, I think you do not know that I have a pop culture channel called Totally Dacob. You should go check out Totally Dacob and subscribe to that channel, and all your Labubu questions will be answered there. Just saying. Yeah, Labubu. Thanks, Live and Ferret. Yeah, I got a lot of videos on the Labubus on Totally Dacob. I feel like Louis Vuitton would collab with Labubu in the future. Oh, yeah. Well, Pharrell is probably going to make his version of the Labubu without asking permission. Apple Dainty says, what exactly was the pocket socks patent for? I doubt it was as simple as a sock with a zipper pocket. I bet there's something specific about how their pocket is made or the material it's made with. It's possible. I think mostly the concept of a pocket in a sock. I think that's what they're kind of going for. Is Totally Dacob like Totally Spies? What? I don't know what are you referencing, like a movie or something? Because Totally Dacob is like an 80s way of talking. It's like totally bitchin', tubular, like totally. And it's also one of the best phrases spoken out in the 1978 Halloween movie by John Carpenter, where one of the babysitters in the whole movie says, totally, I totally dig it. And yes, this was still in the 70s, but it was kind of the precursor to the 80s, and totally would be totally a thing in the 80s, but also very Valley Girl, together with Gag Me with a Spoon. So I think if I open another channel, I'm going to call it Gag Me with a Spoon. Yeah. Yeah. Trippin', bitchin', totally. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So Totally Dacob references the 80s and my love of pop culture. Oh, for sure. Yeah, Gloria, for sure. Yeah, that's another one. Totally Spies is a French animated spy cartoon about 3 spy ladies named Sam, Clover, and Alex. It's very fashionable, actually. I loved it. You say fashionable, and I say I'm going to check it out because that sounds very interesting. Hold on, let me write that down. Let me take my Barbie notepad, okay? Hold on, let me... Honey, what can I put you down for? Yeah? Lady Spies? Totally Spies. Totally Spies. Cartoon? Cartoon. Cartoon from France. Fashionable spies called... What were the names? Sam, Clover, and Alex. Sam, Clover, and Alex. So this is like Charlie's Angels, like 3 chicks. I wrote it down. I'll check them out. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, Mahora says, I watched that cartoon when I was little. Another piece of the puzzle. Oh, I just Googled it. Looks like you would like it, Dacob. Oh, Louis. Okay, fabulous. Well, I know what I'm going to watch after the after show. Early 2000s. Oh, early 2000s? Oh, not 80s or 90s? Okay, now my interest is slowly falling. Yeah, Kari, I'm the same. Like, never heard of it. Was it in the 80s? No, 2000s. Y2K? Yeah. Okay, I'll give it a look, but I do not like Y2K fashion at all. So anyway, no, Kim Possible I cannot stand. No. So okay, Y2K. Okay. So I mean, there were some nice things like, you know, the Takashi Murakami collab. Like, okay. So anyway, okay, Apple Dainty says, okay, I did some poking around. The pocket socks patent is for a sock with a zipper pocket, specifically. Yes. Looks like socks with storage have existed in the patent logs since the early 1900s. Interesting. Well, yeah, the patent we saw has a zipper pull. X paper cut. It says, why am I hearing Quiet Luxury is dying after the 3rd season of The White Lotus? So Quiet Luxury, according to Louis Vuitton, is dying, right, in America, and they're happy because they can sell their tacky stuff again to all the nouveau riche. But I think the White Lotus should be the thing that's dying. The shade needed to be thrown. The shade needed to be thrown. I loved season 1. I reevaluated season 2, and I really did not like season 2. I find that show evil. Evil. And I don't mean I look, I'm going to sound like some creepy conspiracy theorist. It's evil. There's a darkness to it. And it's not the type of darkness where a show analyzes the darkness inside of people. Because that can be interesting. There are some shows out there and movies out there that analyze the evil that men do. But this show feels like evil, like something disgusting is making the show.
I mean, of course, we're worried.
So season 2, look, I love Italy. I love Sicily, okay? Sicily has a bad rep because of the mafia and whatever, but Sicily has a big heart. And Sicilians are very proud people. And I know that they're happy when America comes in and shoots a TV show and gives them exposure, and some actors get exposure. That's all lovely. But I don't like how they portrayed Sicily. They chose all of the cliche tropes to showcase Sicily in such a colonialistic way. You know, it's like, okay, America comes in with money and makes a show in Sicily and makes it about Sicily, but like has no clue about the heritage of Sicily. So it's a very superficial approach to what Sicily is. So I really did not like that. Really did not like that at all. And then the fact that every single character is disgusting. None of them have any redeeming qualities. None of the characters have any redeeming qualities. They're all corrupt. They're all vile. And what are we supposed to do? Sit there, watch them, and be like fascinated by them? I'm sorry. I'm a good person. I'm not fascinated by evil all around. I walk away from evil. I don't want to deal with evil. I want to deal with good people, with nice people. And if there's a topic about evil, then I want to see good people prevail. And I want to see the good people win. Yes, I want that happy ending. I want that moment in the sun where there's like no evil. That show is the first show I've ever seen that has zero good in it. Zero. Zero. There's nothing good. No, Akulu, that's not true that this is just show to examine US's relationship with wealth. No, because they also show how the Italians deal with the wealth, with consumerism, how the ladies are hookers and this and that. Look, zero, and the Italians in that show also have no redeeming qualities. They're also evil to the core. And I don't like that. You know, I don't like when something is fully evil. Okay, what just happened? Why am I just changing? Why am I blinking? Okay, so Cinnamon Roll says, I mean, all American films show Italy like that from my point of view. Yeah, and this has to change, Cinnamon Roll, because Italy has a beautiful, rich, complex heritage, very specific dynamics. I mean, you guys, Italy, even between villages, like we're not even talking moving from state to state like in America, right? And you have like a different dialect or a different accent if you go to Virginia as opposed to, Boston. In Italy, sometimes, like you literally move like 200 meters from one village to the next village, and you're gonna have a different dialect. It's that rich and dense in nuance, so much nuance. So, does Italy have problems? Yes, it has big problems. Italy has big problems, for sure. But you can't just like shove it all under one roof and just, say, bella Italia, pizza, pasta. You know what I mean? That is so like limiting. And then on top of that, you make them look like they're evil. Yeah, that's not cool. No, that's not cool. But so yeah. Now, I watch anything under the sun. Like every show, if you tell me, watch it, I'll watch it because I don't like to judge before I watch something. I watched the first season of White Lotus fully. I enjoyed it. Second season, I'm like, oh, this is getting dark, but ugly. Ugly. Not in a good way. And then they announced season 3, and I'm like, you know what? No, this is the first time I'm not even going to watch it. I didn't even watch it. Not even one episode. And now, looky, eggs and cookie, we have this whole drama happening that allegedly, Arnold Schwarzenegger's, son or grandson, allegedly slept with somebody. I can't even say the name, by the way, because we're on YouTube. Oh, he's his son? He's very young to be his son. Well, anyway, so Arnold's son allegedly slept with the maker of the show to get the part. But is like dating a girl and is, very straight. And now everybody's like questioning, is he really straight? Is he just hiding? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it's just, you see, there's that whole, oh, Alberto, yes, honey, Google it. It's a whole thing. It's a escándalo. It just started last week. And I'm like, you see, and now not just the show is all dark, now behind the scenes, everything is dark and everything is like, and I'm just like, oh no, you know what? And maybe it's just rumors, like I said, allegedly. Maybe none of it is true. I hope it's not true. But just the mere fact that people are like talking about this en masse already tells you something is putrid underneath the surface. Yeah. Yeah, Anya, it kind of feels that way. Yeah, like filming your own dark, just never did a show make me feel so nauseous like White Lotus season 2. I felt sick watching that show. Like, and I know you might say, but that's exactly what they wanted. You were projecting, reflecting, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I'm not an evil person. But I'm an intelligent person. So I see what they're doing there. And what they were doing there was not clever. It was not intelligent. It was disgusting. But not intelligent disgusting. It was just dumb disgusting. Just like evil for the sake of being evil without trying to prove any point. It was just like enjoying the aesthetic of suffering, enjoying the aesthetic of evil. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, that's not, I don't enjoy the aesthetic of evil. I don't. I don't. You know, and I'm like, okay, so what's your point? There's no redeeming quality to anybody. And you're enjoying shooting scenes from this angle. And by the way, when are we going to stop self-sabotaging ourselves? I'm looking at you, gay community. The maker of White Lotus is a sister. He's a sister. Okay, so why on earth would you willingly decide to make a show that shows gay people in such an ugly light, but so ugly and so destructive? I mean, he also shows straight people in an ugly light, but girl, like the worst characters in that show are gay. They are without scruple, without any moral, without any redeeming quality, without any pride. It's like they have sold their soul to the devil. And I'm like, why would you do that to your own community? Why would you do that to your own community? Go to the shrink, deal with your troubles at the shrinks. Don't damage our community even more. We have a lot of issues to deal with in this world. We don't need you to add even more trouble and more cliches and more, damage to us. No, instead, Miss Thing got a hefty check and got to make a TV show about it, and it's like, okay, well, like, okay. It's like as if we already didn't have a bad reputation. Now you're giving us an even worse reputation. And I don't need that. I don't need to watch a TV show that gives my people a bad reputation. I don't need to watch a TV show where you're making it look like all gay people are terrible. I don't need to watch that show. And I don't need to watch it and say, oh, this is clever. No, it's not clever. It's dumb. It's super destructive and counterproductive. I'm sorry. Sorry for being a party pooper, because I know a lot of people love the show, but it's just, this is something I will never understand about these types of shows, like why they are so celebrated, why they are so, like, oh my God, award season, they're going to win all the awards. Super counterproductive. I'm sorry, but to our cause, to our trying to fight to be respected as human beings. Finley says, Dacob, I relate so much to this feeling. I'm tired of shows that seem to actually be titillated by human suffering and terrible treatment of others and expect us to be entertained. Yeah, I cannot anymore. I don't have it in me anymore. I cannot enjoy stuff like that, really. Oh, Anya. Yeah, good luck with the audience reflecting. Could you imagine? Yeah, no redemption. No redemption. Yeah, A says, you're right, we all watched it, but to be honest, it's annoying and feels uneasy to watch, yet addictive in a weird way. Yeah, I mean, like every TV show, one episode pulls the next, but there are other addictive TV shows that are better. I feel the same way about Euphoria. I hated that show. Oh my God, Purple Butterfly. I cannot stand Euphoria. Same. Don't like it at all. English says, I hate when they make it seem like every gay person is a pick-me person. Yeah, that too. Caroline, how's it going? Morning, Dacob, and morning, everyone just waking up here in Australia. Dacob, can you please give me a very brief synopsis, as I've never seen White Lotus? Girl, every season it's for itself. There's no synopsis really. It's just a bunch of weird people spending a holiday in a resort, a holiday resort called the White Lotus. And they have like White Lotuses in different parts of the world. And so every season is like a group of people staying in that resort, and then the shenanigans they go through, and there's always a crime happening. And then we try to solve the crime, but it's always connected to human misery and human corruption, and the soul is like, oof, bad. Yeah. So, yeah, Terry, yeah, cringe, yeah. Charlene says, TV series have sure changed since Jackie Collins' miniseries of My Day. Well, look, I mean, I do love Hacks. I think Hacks is pretty good, pretty darn good. It's another HBO show. Hacks. Hacks is really good. I do like that. As a new show, I like Hacks. So, which other show do I like? Oh, The Last of Us. I did enjoy season 1. Yeah, season 2 is out now. I haven't started watching season 2 yet. Yeah, and Just Like That is okay. Sure. Yeah, waiting for season 3. Oh, yes. Oh, Hercule Poirot. I rewatch Agatha Christie's David Suchet or Suchet. Suchet, I think, or Suchet. I watch his Hercule Poirot often. I love it so much. And 80s shows, I rewatch them all the time. And I mean, I'm just like now watching or rewatching Gem and the Holograms, the cartoon. And there goes my voice. Well, it was nice knowing you, people. Hold on, losing my voice. We gotta go into the after show. It's been a long time. Let me see what other topics I got for you. Okay, this one was done. Okay, we got the voice back. No, we don't. Let me take a candy. Oh, I didn't watch Emily in Paris either. Couldn't. Too tacky. You know? Oh, Apple Dainty. Yeah, I don't like those drawings. You mean the Gem graphic novels with the like more kind of punky design? No, I just want 80s Gem. I want that cartoon in comic form. I don't like any changes. Oh, there you go, Finley. Did Sophia and the Golden Girls say that? Sicily, every town has its own dialect? Because it's true. Mm. No, it's not that I'm a purist, but Gem is amazing. Truly, truly, truly amazing. Well, because why change it? Why change something that's perfect? You're just ruining it, right? So I have a question for you. Do you think this is okay or not okay? What if a couple... Okay, what can film it about? No, fine. I have a question for you. You tell me if this is, according to you, fraud, okay, or great, encourageable to do, or a no-go. So there's a story, or a couple that has this tendency, and they've been caught doing it because they posted it themselves on social media. I'm not going to say who they are, doesn't matter, because apparently it's a trend and a lot of people are doing it. So this couple goes to a bougie restaurant, and it can be a bougie bar, restaurant, it can even be a boutique. And they go in as a couple, and then inside of the restaurant or said establishment, the gentleman proposes to the lady, and they get engaged in the restaurant. And it can be man, woman, man, woman, woman, whatever. You know what I mean? A couple. And excitement, everybody applauds, and she starts crying, and they're both happy, they hug. And the establishment that they entered, being the restaurant in this case, they're like, oh, we're going to offer you a drink. And they're like, oh, thank you so much. This one's on the house. And so they get the drinks for free, or maybe they even get a little cake for free or something, and then they leave. And then the next day, they go to another restaurant where he proposes again. And in that second restaurant, they also get a free drink, and they also get a little free snack, and everybody happy until they start doing it again and again and again. And they posted to social media, laughing about it, saying like, look what we did. Aren't we clever? We found a hack to the system. So, of course, all of the netizens started complaining. Not all of them. Some were saying, oh, this is a great idea. But what do you guys think? Now, of course, everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. So what do you think? Is this something that you think is okay to do? Or do you think that it's sketchy, shady, scammy? Is it thievery? Like, is this kind of a way for stealing? Because I have this theory, right? You, in a way, you can get a tip. Like, let's say you're a street performer. You're a mime, and you're doing your mime thing, like on the street, and then somebody drops you a coin. Or you're performing on a stage and you're acting something and you're making people feel some type of way. And then they tip you for it. Living Ferret says it's dishonest. Terry says it's shady. But what about seeing it this way? You give people an emotion. You enter into their establishment, and for the entire customers to see, you have chosen their spot to get engaged. That's also kind of good promotion for the company, for the restaurant. Like, oh, look, people come here to get engaged. And you deliver a performance for all of the customers in said establishment. You're performing a love scene for them. And for that performance, you get a free drink of champagne, or you get a snack or something paid for. So if we see it that way, it's kind of okay. But Gloria says, but your intention is not a good one. Well, their intention was to perform this in order to get a free drink. An actor, a mime on the street, performs a scene in order to get a tip. Like, where is the border crossed between this is now a crime, or like this was a bad intention and this was just performing? A says it's based on a lie, though. Caroline, no, the restaurant was not in on it, allegedly. Finley says, but the people watching the mime know he's a performer. They know they are the audience. Yeah, that's a good difference. That's a good point. Akolu says it's a scam through and through and shameful. Bad juju, says Kari. Louis says, I love it. I think I'm the only one that thinks it's okay. Paulia says, so not only you're scamming them, you're also exposing them online. No, you're not exposing them online. They gave you the drink for getting engaged in their establishment. You're not exposing them. You're just showing how nice they are, how nice this establishment is. They're so happy for you that they say, hey, look, the drink's on the house. You know what I mean? Yeah, Gloria says, this way it's a one-way understanding It's not like with a mime. It's a two-way understanding. It's like, look, I'm acting. You know I'm acting. You're enjoying my acting. And I'm offering you the acting, and then you give me a tip for that. Gloria says this is a one-way understanding, like you know you're faking the engagement, but we don't know that you are faking the engagement. Hence, that's where it's being dishonest. Yeah. Okay, I see that. Gloria says, yes, exactly. Akolu says, I also believe if you do a fake engagement, you're potentially messing with your fate. Aha. So now we're getting into the whole superstition of it. Polly says, I mean, the people who are also having a meal there, they never consented to be part of the show. I love how Polly is so bitter, grumpy. Polly is like, look, I came here to eat my salad. I already have to cut the carbs. I'm already on a diet. I'm already struggling. And now, while I'm eating this salad that has no flavor, because I'm not even allowed to put any sauce on it, heaven forbid it were to have a bit of sugar, now I gotta sit here and watch you two kissing around right in front of me, proposing to each other. Ew. Ew. No. Just no. Get a life. Yeah, Caroline is like, get a life, get a real life. Like, Cheddar Salty Balls Urchin says, in front of my salad. Scam, says Cinnamon Roll. Scam. Oh, man. A says, I fake a birthday for my little niece because she enjoys the singing, but I always pay for the cake. I should have known better. Oh no, it was a happy birthday. But you paid for the cake. Oh my gosh. Cecilia says, if it's done once, then yes. But when you do it over and over again, it's silly, especially when posting it social media. Well, you know how it is, these stupid trends on TikTok. Everybody starts these ridiculous trends and then all the other Oompa Loompas follow. And it's just one embarrassment after the next. People just love to embarrass themselves, I guess. I guess that's the trend at the end of the day. Sasha says, I feel like this when people are singing happy birthday as I try to eat decent food. Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, unless you're not the one singing happy birthday, in which case you don't care. I mean, oh, that's true, Sasha. You see more people photographing food than you do eating it. Yeah. Polly S says, I'm channeling Dorothy's Bornak tonight. Well, there you go, guys. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. Is this okay or is it nay? Never give up on love. Subscribe. Let's get to 100K and thumb up the video. Bye. And hi, Fast Angel. How's it going? How's it going? So, period. Mr. Haha is looking at you. Oh my God. That's another Golden Girls moment for those of you who don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. Okay. See ya in the after show, people. Thank you, mods, for keeping us safe. And don't forget, today, Tier 1 members, Tier 2 members, Tier 1 patrons, Tier 2 patrons all get access to the after show. Link is in the post tab on my channel for the members, and for the patrons, it's on Patreon. Thank you, mods, for keeping us safe. Hit it, Bubbles.
A special thanks to the mods in the fashion bunker. That's my horror, 3H, Gloria, Kev, Nicole, and Terry. Bubbles loves you.
Yes, both tiers today. Akolu, both tiers. What was the next one? I wanted to play, I guess, We'll Go.
Would go, would go, would go, would go, would go. Would go, would go, would go, would go, would go. Would go, would go, would go, would go, would go, would go. Would go, 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 would go.
Period. Oh my God. We forgot my co-host. We forgot my co-host. We are obsessed. The Birkin is in the house, y'all. Obsessed. Hit it, Birkin.
I am obsessed. I am obsessed. I am obsessed. Oh, oh.
And now you gotta tell me that I'm Paul.
Inevitable.
Thank you. Like, look, at this point, not a live stream passes by that we don't show the co-host because this bag, honey, Oh, should we do a little live-in ferret? I stuffed my my Speedy now with a couple pillows. Now it looks like a little sausage. Isn't it cute? It's like a little pillow itself. So, live-in ferret, hit it.
I'm living ferret, living ferret, living ferret, living ferret, living ferret, living ferret.
That was the live-in ferret. We got a huge die-in ferret too. Ah, die-in ferret.
Die ferret, die ferret, die ferret, die ferret, die ferret.
Oh, Labubu. Okay. And then listen, Linda, our T-Rex.
Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda.
Thank you for becoming a member, Sigita. Except for cha. Is there anything else left that I forgot? No. I think, wait, we did them all, right? Yeah, cha, but then is there another one? No. Okay, Baby Yoda, you're transparent again.
Ciao, 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 ciao.
Okay, Baby Yoda, you're very slow today. We did Charlie Watt already, Debs. Think once or twice already. Well, that was our show. I hope you had fun. It was 4 hours of fun. See you in the after show. See you in the after show. See you in the... As Wendy Williams would say, grab a snack and come on back to the after show, where today, Tier 1 and Tier 2 members, as well as Tier 1 and Tier 2 patrons, join. And we get to talk about stuff that we cannot always talk about in the main show, because, you know, YouTube. Love you, YouTube. Very kind and gentle algorithm. You are a gentle and kind algorithm. We love you, YouTube. We love you so much. Love you guys. Never give up on love. See you in the after show, or see you next time. Bye.